Kirov reporting.
UAV online.
Mercury rising.
Behold your king.
Ready for meltdown. Kaboom!
My subjects will be glad to hear my voice.
Kirov reporting. Airship ready.
Good day, peasant. Bow to your king. Bow before me.
Electrodes ready. Rubber shoes in motion.
UAV online.
I love your brain. You're so interesting. And the way you think is so cool.
Anytime, boss. Cha-ching! Cha-ching! Cha-ching!
Behold the Invictus Kings, another day of conquest, because this is the only channel in the universe that gives you the truth and nothing but the truth, exactly what every one of the gurus, of the mass movement makers, of the legendary figures do, as well as these fake charlatans in a time where good men have basically given up. They have been subdued and submissive to a society that doesn't serve them in any significant way. And that is why we are here, to be the resistance, to be the real new world order, to be the real kings that are giving humanity an alternative, a brand new way where you can be authentically you, but in a king version that is implementing into this world your life purpose into something larger than life. And if you want to compare your skills to these gurus, get on the free evaluation that you can find in this link at primalstatus.com. Make sure to go through it. 5 minutes that will change the trajectory of your life. 5 minutes that will give you the keys to the next 500 years of your dynasty, where you will receive at the end 2 emails, 1 PDF personal profile that explains to you your strengths and weaknesses and opportunities and everything that you love and that you will have an advantage in doing. And the second is, look for that second email that begins the series of 10 powerful free trainings that give you the videos, opening your eyes to the truth, opening your eyes to reality. So primalstats.com is the place. Mark, I see you here. Hello, my man. How are you? This is Mark, the AI guy, watching your stream. Again, as promised. I know who you are. I actually, and literally, and for sure have a video for you that is going to be changing your life in every significant way. I will play it for you soon. Let's begin. But it shows you. It's funny, at least you are positioning yourself as the AI guy, which is much better than most poop sock peasants. By the way, what is he doing? This is humble bragging. Literally, the title of this video was for him, can being right all the time actually be a curse? Which again, humble bragging plus the 8-ball. Do you see that? That's about predicting the future. That's similar, or a more modern take on the crystal ball that makes him someone who can see the future. Is it real? Nope. Is it useful? Hell yeah.
There we go. Much better. Flex time. It is most definitely flex time. Yeah. I win.
I know to say in it. Again, flexing matters. As men, you are supposed to show your achievements, the things that you did, not your trust fund baby antics, but what you really conquered in this world. The world should hear and see and see.
I win again. It's the best part of this job.
Did he win? No, but declaring victory as well shows your tribe that joining you will elevate their primal status. So that's why.
All I got to do really is wait. If you think about it, that's all you got to do. Just wait for shit like this.
Feeling the love of your brothers and the support of your brother.
Yes. This is Scott Galloway approved masculinity.
Be satisfied with a man who's 80% of everything they want. 2/3 say no, I deserve it all. You pose the same question to a man and 2/3 say yes, that would be great. So media and online dating to a certain extent have massively raised the expectations of women, and you can't tell people to lower their expectations. And there are fewer and fewer.
No, Scott, you can't tell women to lower their expectations. You can tell men that all day long. In fact, that's basically what you've been doing for quite some time.
For men who meet those expectations, we've all seen those TikToks of women who are asked, what are your minimum requirements for a man? And it usually comes down to two key criteria, height and money. He has to be at least 6 feet tall, has to make at least $100,000. That doesn't sound that unreasonable.
The tallest thing is your primal status. That's the truth. Mark, are you here? I have a surprise that I prepared for you. Took time from my precious day in order to give you a video that will absolutely inspire you with the truth, because you need to recognize the truth in order for you to act accordingly.
6.
And notice, by attacking Scott Galloway and pretending like he knows more, he's still in the primal status of Scott, attacking his tribe, and therefore people who were impressed by this guy will flock to the poop sock Rollo.
6'6". It's 6 feet tall, 6-figure income, 6-pack abs, a minimum of a 6-inch cock.
Good. So I'm here with the gospel. I'm here with the good news. This is another Mark that is similar to you, which has an IQ of, I believe, 70. And he's telling you why you should accept it. You should live like a low IQ individual. You're still useful to society. So don't trouble yourself. We already have that X-ray IQ vision, and we know that you will thrive much more working in McDonald's as a lowly paid janitor.
Reading something off Quora. It has something to do with IQ. Do you hate low IQ people and wish they never existed? Yeah, so I typed in why do people hate low IQ individuals so much? And here I've got an answer from Ven.
Again, he's your twin soulmate, both 70 IQ, and so I'm giving you the sauce, how you can survive it.
Brenda Van Gelder here on Quora. I'm going to read it out to you. And this just shows, that, low IQ people actually are very important in society. You know what I mean? A helpful illustration of the importance of diversity in civilization, to include diversity intelligence. Going from chapter 16 of Brave New World. I actually have that book here. I bought that book recently. I've only like 3 or 4 pages left to read and then I'm finished. But anyway, so this is one part of the book that I actually missed out on. Because, when you have low IQ, sometimes when you're reading, it's kind of hard to understand and sometimes you forget.
Exactly. That's your situation, Mark. You are often someone struggling with reading comprehension, which is one of the symbols and the signs that everyone within the chat yesterday recognized that you are someone who's very slow and who is very, very, very low IQ. That's you, except in a more aware, enlightened state, and I'm bringing you together.
And parts of the book, you know what I mean? So the controllers had the island of Cyprus cleared of all its existing inhabitants and recolonized with a specially prepared batch of 22,000 alphas. Okay, so alphas are, the most intelligent in society.
Notice the nerds, he calls them the alphas because it's contextual. To him, who is 70 IQ, someone higher than 130 is an alpha. So again, you have to understand that the rules of the game depend on where you start. Your strengths and weaknesses define the map of your success, and that's what we specialize in, instead of giving you a standard map that expects you to be similar to everybody.
You can take that as being the top 10%. People with, let's say, IQs of 130 and above. Oh, God's sake. So all agricultural and industrial equipment was handed over to them, and they were left to manage their own affairs. The result exactly fulfilled all the theoretical predictions. The land wasn't properly worked. There were strikes in all the factories. The laws were set at naught. Orders disobeyed. All the people detailed for a spell of low-grade work were perpetually intriguing for high-grade jobs. And all the people with high-grade jobs were counter-intriguing. I don't even know what that word means. At all costs to stay where they were. Within 6 years, they were having a first-class civil war. When 19 out of the 22,000 had been killed, the survivors unanimously petitioned the world controllers to resume the government of the island, which they did, and that was the end of the only society of alphas that the world has ever seen. So that's why I don't understand why teachers hate low IQ students. I mentioned this before, how...
That's why we don't hate you, Mark. We're just telling you that you are useful, but not in the way that you think, because your laziness and lack of ambition are two obstacles that are going to destroy your future.
You know, when I was in last year at school, my maths teacher told me that the reason why I was doing so badly at maths was because I wasn't paying attention in class. She didn't seem to understand that I had a low IQ, and some people have low IQs, and not everyone is a genius. You know what I mean? One of my other teachers, when I was in my last year at school, told my mother at a parent-teacher meeting that I was very intelligent. I was highly intelligent, which I clearly was not. I did an IQ test earlier on that year, and I got a score of 70, which means I'm not highly intelligent. So this here shows that you need different levels of intelligence. Because, you know, if you're highly
Exactly, Mark, and we need you to be the one that I was going to say to be the butler for the kings, but you are too lazy to even be a butler. McDonald's like such people, so make sure to get your pocket money on.
Intelligent person. You're naturally, you're going to be a little bit arrogant. You know, you're going to want high-paying jobs, intellectually stimulating jobs. You're not going to want to work jobs that are kind of physically strenuous but mentally boring, intellectually boring. You know what I mean? And it's just we need to be more realistic. You need low IQ people in order for a society to function properly. You know what I mean? Oftentimes, you know, the low IQ people who do their jobs properly are as important as the high IQ people who do their jobs properly. Okay? So stop expecting everybody to be success stories. You know what I mean? That doesn't lead to a successful society. You know, here in the Matrix.
Exactly, Mark. Don't expect anything since you're lazy. Your future is just to be at the bottom of the pyramid.
If everyone was highly intelligent, if everyone reached their intellectual potential in life, hardly anyone would want to work in fast food or as a bus driver or a factory worker or a construction worker, and society would collapse.
Exactly. We need you, Mark. We need you at the bottom.
You know what I mean? So this is why, you know, low IQ individuals are important in society. It becomes a problem if your IQ is so low that you become unemployable.
That's you, Mark. Unfortunately, that's the bad news. Diego the God, what's up with the infatuation of IQ I've been seen lately? It is just an illusion that people use in order for them to make sense of reality and to flex on each other, the same as morality and any of those words. It's not that important. It doesn't even exist. But in the case of Mark, we single him out. He is the only low IQ individual in history. But for us, for the rest of us, low IQ or IQ in general doesn't exist. We are born to win and we do what it takes. For example, notice Mark. He comes here, he is just dilly-dallying, wasting time, never ever moving forward, because he is someone who shits in his pants whenever there is anything risky, while King and Emperor Diego, who got the highest level package and already even sent me his own perspective on the knowledge, beginning to develop his own knowledge base and his own unique ideas on primal status. This is a real king, and this is not even a peasant. Peasants at least need hard work and labor. He is, you know, he is that doll. What do they call that? The doll that they put in the farm to scare the crows. He's a scarecrow at best. If not, there is no use for society for him.
Go on, dig yourself deeper there, Scott.
Take out married men and you go 21 to 50, that's 0.6% of the population. And because now people are meeting online, where those metrics become more important than everything.
I love how he's catching up to the red pill, like from about 10 years ago.
People.
Anyway, always notice, attack, 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 attack. He's there, and even when he says something that Rollo agrees with, he doesn't agree with it. He says, oh, Scott is only now catching up to something from the red pill from 10 years ago. Again, it's very important. that the enemies, the outsiders, the other tribe leaders succumb to your saber and die at your hands.
Aren't connecting. And so what we have is a series of very base criteria that are eliminating the majority of the pool of men for consideration from women. Women end up dating older, oftentimes also end up lonely. Young men.
All of it. They date based on your primal status points, so elevate them every single day that you're not moving forward. You are literally signing your backward decay.
Have very few prospects and become lonely. The difference is they become dangerous to society and to themselves.
Mark, bro, Diego the God, how can you share your date and women life improved after you joined Primal Stella Group? Don't share with him. Mark is a piece of shit. You've seen the Bedouin God share with him. I gave him access to all the testimonials, and he's still just mentally masturbating, touching his small willy. Again, why do you need more reassurance? Is this what you are observing? Something that seems to you like it doesn't make sense? If so, why are you still being Benito and returning every single day just to watch this information and still asking the same question to every single king? We don't have time for the poop sock peasants. You're a waste of time, unfortunately. And you put yourself in this position. So take it like a good little girl.
Man said this, okay? He said there's a difference between hot women and beautiful women. Hot women are approachable. You walk into the room, you know who's the hot woman. They're either in like the short skirt or like they demand the attention, and guys are attracted to the hot women because they're hot. They're sensual and gravitating or pulling the guys towards them. They're just hot. But he said that beautiful women are actually the
Exactly. Diego knows it's a king thing. Let's salute King Diego because
it's a king thing.
Mark, really, you have to understand, it's worse than you think because you are signaling to the world that you're a loser without realizing it. Everybody who's a somebody will reject you. You will never get far. And you don't even know why, because this knowledge that we are holding is the key to your success. But you keep on shooting yourself in the foot and keep on betraying your whole legacy. Yes, King Diego, Mark, there is no point in me telling you if you won't even put in the work. Exactly. Mark, you're a loser, and nobody helps a loser, and nobody helps a nobody. You are exactly, and I will explain to you. Imagine you dress like a homeless person, you smell like a homeless person, and you go to people and you're like, can I borrow $5? How would they treat you? Well, you're not even aware that you're behaving like that homeless guy, which shows your level of ignorance. It's too bad. And again, we gave you chances for many, many weeks, but over time you keep on being stuck in like, can you, King Diego, can you tell me? Bro, whoever, anybody that comes, you keep asking the same questions. And after they answer, it's a waste of time. You really need to be stoned publicly and put as an effigy of the losers as the real role model for everybody who wants to have the most horrific life ever.
Men are either afraid to approach because they know that you're out of their league and they don't want to feel rejected. Beautiful women feel like they're not seen or not valued, and they don't even know what it is that they're doing wrong, but it's really nothing. It's just maybe the fact that you're so...
That's like bro cope, by the way. Beautiful women and hot women are...
By the way, he is right now attacking anybody who doesn't agree with him, and he's not taking into consideration any point of view, which is, when it comes to lizard-brain communication, the correct thing. Because anytime you're like, oh, that's a new point I didn't consider, people will think that you are not the magician king, and that you all have blind spots in your map. So he's attacking.
Pretty much the same.
That's too hard.
So fucking beautiful. So it could be that. That's what I tell myself. I told my mom that the other day. I said the reason I'm single is because I'm too beautiful, and she told me to shut up.
Yeah, because you're not. Can we at least...
That's a reframe as well. Again, the more he attacks women, the more his incels. What's wrong with you, Primal? You were nice yesterday. Unfortunately, it's time for you to go. I want you to know that it is the end of your life. This is your euthanasia. Goodbye forever, Mark. We don't want your people or people like you anymore. And I want to remind you one more reminder.
You should know better than to oppose a king.
That no matter how many questions you ask that are useless questions, no matter how much you hope and dream without taking action, you will always and forever stay a little loser. Yes, I animated his barbecue. His soul is stolen and given to the orcs because he doesn't deserve to be human. Diego knows because, you know, without us cleaning out this whole world of these losers, we are here to say,
the kingdom's gone to hell while I was away.
That's why the world is filled with too many Marks and not enough kings. And that is the reason why we live in this upside down reality. Again, from the beginning, we answered his questions, gave him information, gave him everything. And what does he do? He is still asking the same damn questions from 3 months ago. He's still suffering with reading comprehension. And even worse, he's still saying, oh, I can't take a step forward because it's too risky. I need my mommy. So again, he's not a man. We don't associate with boys. If he wants that, he can go join the Catholic Church or can go to P. Diddy parties.
Honest with each other, you're not. You're neither.
Rule as a dancer is a no is never a no. You can persuade the guy to say yes, or you can sell him another option. Right. Most important, build a rapport. Don't even ask for anything right away. And some girls just do not know how to start a conversation without talking about the transactions of dancing. There's a lot of guys that go, well, this girl was trying to get danced. I mean, she didn't even know my name. You know, men are already guarded up. They don't want it to feel transactional. So when a girl comes up and she's just like,
hey. By the way, they say the same thing about the beach shield of beautiful women. It is, if you have the value, you have the decision. When it comes to strippers, if you have the money, you have the value. But when it comes to real life, if you have primal status points, enough of them, you are a winner. If not, you become a has-been and a loser like Mark. So let him be a cautionary tale of never be lazy, create your own ambition and take initiative every day.
Hey, you want to go in the VIP? Of course he's going to say no. Well, first off, that's a privilege to go in the VIP. It's not an entitlement.
Buy me dinner, man. Come on. Come on.
Schmooze me a little.
Schmooze
like,
me, you know.
That's my girl, Domo. At least she's being honest. More on that later.
By the way, notice, when a girl, he doesn't know her, he attack. And then when he knows her, even though she's a stripper, and his whole spiel is the red pill is for you to go for those traditional women, those good women. Oh, that's my girl, Domo, the stripper. Oh, my girl, I love her. That's what he says. And that shows you all of this is a grift by very, 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 very psychopathic grifters.
Feel like women are seriously ready for emotionally intelligent men.
We're talking about you wanting a man who is tolerant, who regulates his emotions, who also knows how to manage your emotions. But you're also talking about a man who knows how to navigate his sensitivities and everything else when it comes to that. But you have to consider that.
By the way, this is them promoting their own Be Merry. Doesn't mean that you should agree with it. Again, you are the source of your power. Remember, you create your own king standards. And therefore, no matter what people say, if you are there and you think, that's how I please women, you lost, because you should be the source of attention and for people to be the ones trying to please.
An emotionally intelligent man is good at cutting people off when he sees that your sensitivities bring too much reactivity. When he sees that you cannot regulate your...
I love it when shit rhymes. His emotionality is creating your reactivity.
Emotions. When he sees that you have a low tolerance, this type of man that you are asking for is a man who will walk you out the door in a heartbeat. If he feels like you are disrupting his peace, if he feels like there's any level of disrespect, because there's a lot that comes with emotional intelligence. So if you asking for that, you got to come with the same level of emotional intelligence as well. Okay?
We are still harping on emotional intelligence, and it is
No, it's always attacking. It matters. Robin Hood all day long. Again, do they disagree with what he says? He literally says the same thing supposedly about his marriage, but he will either warrior web them, attack them, or say, oh, we have been talking about this 10 years ago, as if truth change over time. But again, he is using that in order for him to make them seem outdated and obsolete.
2024 people. There's no such thing as emotional intelligence.
Hypergamy is just, women want someone older, richer, all of these things. I say actually none of that matters. Women, actually, they're definitely...
No, dear, that's not what hypergamy is at all.
And yes, women want a high primal status superior. But either way, who defined hypergamy? It has its own definition. Just because he chose to pick on one specific or two specific ways that hypergamy might be seen doesn't matter, because when you become the tribe leader, this whole notion of hypergamy works in your way, because in your new universe, you are number one. You are the top of the heap.
You would know, but you don't, because you're not actually a psychologist.
The definition of hypergamy is the man that she can't manipulate. At 19...
No, dear. The definition of hypergamy is alpha fucks and beta bucks. And
that's one of the stupidest things. By the way, Rollo keeps on contradicting himself, where sometimes he's like, yo, be the be the guy who is like Justin Waller. But then, oh, she's going to sleep with a cone, with a foam cannon Cancun party dude. Like, he keeps on contradicting himself. We know one thing. Being the tribe leader is the winner's way.
Day we would school you so bad you would go and hide under a rock somewhere.
Notice this is bad. If you would give us the time of the day, we would school you, meaning that she's not giving them the time of the day, meaning they're getting ignored and they don't have enough primal status. The poop sock peasant Rollo is always betraying himself. He often speaks about how people refuse to go and do podcasts with him or debate with him or whatever. I graciously did at the beginning, around 2 years ago, debate with Rollo Tomassi and Michael Sartain. Search for it on YouTube, Primal Status Debate, Rollo Tomassi, Michael Sartain, and you'll see how I tore them a new one and ripped them into shreds.
A CEO who's 40 years old, far more successful than her, taller than her, more qualifications, everything is above her. You would say that she's hypergamous. I can guarantee you she would rather be with a man who's less successful, less intelligent, might even be a bit shorter, but he doesn't fall for nonsense. You are not going to pay my rent while your own daughter's rent you don't even consider, or you are not going to buy me a car because I slept with you a couple of times. You're not stupid. But if we find that, oh my God, I can tell him that I need his card and he gives it to me straight away, or I can tell him that, I lost my job so I need rent, and he gives it to me straight away without me even knowing him that well, just because immediately she loses respect, and therefore the hypergamy disappears.
I love how these idiots want to
both of them are idiots, but notice he's calling her an idiot. You see, he is doing the John Anthony lifestyle process, the whole thing. He calls it a podcast, when in reality it is him roasting people and stealing status.
Redefine hypergamy. It's like whatever's convenient for them. Like nothing that came out of her mouth had anything to do with hypergamy. And I think on some level she probably knows that.
In a relationship with a woman?
No.
So how are you telling other people how to behave towards women when you yourself have not had any actual physical, interaction with them in a romantic capacity, or in fact in any capacity? If you are looking to some other regimes around the world that
By the way, it shows you Nick Fuentes is building a cult straight up, which makes people create a halo effect where they expect him to be the expert on every single thing. And that is what people are looking for, one God to rule them all, to know everything.
I do think that women are half the value of a man. I have to question what kind of a person who's had no experience with women is in a position to basically promote these ideas.
Well, I'm having an experience with a woman right now, and I've had lots of experiences with women in my life, not romantically per se, but I've talked to enough women. I've been in, I've known enough women to know sort of what's going on.
Have you been in a relationship?
No, but that was funny when he said, I'm having an experience with a woman right now. But after that, he was justifying too hard. Do not justify, act a king. Moves of his own accord, like we say.
Your king moves of his own accord.
So don't justify that was a weakness.
He's never been in a relationship with a woman. I think that's pretty much self-evident.
Understand why men are allowed more than one wife. And through my work, and do you know why? I've learnt this through my work. 9 times out of 10, when a man comes to me with some issues with his wife, it's usually related to sex. And what happens with women is when they are madly in love with you, in the beginning stages, they're very sexually open, so on and so forth. And they give you a good 10, 15 years, they'll give it to you. And then after kids and after time, they're like, we'd had our sex.
I talk to guys in sexless marriages, like 10 to 15 years would be like their dream come true.
Days, like we don't need.
I agree. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Watch my my Victoria Ryan live stream in order to understand that unless you have high primal status, in the beginning she might have mistaken you for having some of the 33 unfair advantages, but once she has her enlightenment opening, eye-opening situation, and then she realizes that you're not the real deal, the pussy dries the fuck up. So the focus is every single day you're married to primal status elevation, married to the game like a pimp, and then you never lose because that is your first priority and everything else emanates from that.
To still have sex, come on.
If she's or the relationship is your priority, you will lose because it's not that made you attractive in the first place. It was the constant increase in your primal status.
Like 50 years old now, we're 60 years old. Women can sometimes go years without wanting it or needing it. They're content with cuddles, but when they're feeling fully secure in their relationship, they're content with very little sexual contact.
Yes, do you hear? If she feels secure in the relationship, there is no sex. We're gonna play it. We need to play that. That's why she needs to know that you have options and multiple concubines. That's why she needs to know that you are not just someone who's sacrificing himself for her or for any other person, that you are going to have your abundance no matter what. Let's find it here, which, yes, this one. One more reminder.
Sex, man. I had no idea that marriage just means no sex. No, none, fucking none. I have friends that are thinking of getting married and they say funny shit like, hey, you know, I don't know if I could do it because I don't know if I could have sex with one woman for the rest of my life. I'm like, don't worry about that shit. You're gonna have sex with 0 women for the rest of your life. That's a lot less than one woman. Who the fuck do you think you are? Where'd you get that fantasy? I'd love to have sex with one woman for the rest of my life. Any one woman. Big, fat, dead lady with a beard, I'd fuck her every day. I'd be proud to have her. That's not usually my problem. These days, my problem is very simple. It's trying to find a place in my house where I can masturbate without somebody bothering me. And that's really difficult. There's nowhere to go anymore. She's got her mother staying with us too in the guest room, and I'm on the streets now. I got nowhere to go. Like, now I know when I see a guy in the West Side Highway jerking off in plain daylight, that's not a homeless guy, that's a married man right there.
Yes, we went deep into this, explored it, and already the answers are in the trainings and the live streams. King does not deal with any of these problems. Diego, simply having women around is not impressive at all. Yes. You could be their gay best friend or Owen Cook. Like you said, it's your status and what you do. There is plenty of poop sock peasants surrounded or with beautiful women around. Yes. And they don't get a damn thing. They're just flexing on other men that don't know the truth.
Where men are a bit afraid to ask for it, their drive just doesn't decrease over the years. It just doesn't change. For women, it very much changes. For men, it just does not change.
It only changes if you put her as a goal and a pedestal. And like she said, if she feels secure that she will never lose you, but if she knows you have options, you keep winning.
Should not be asking for it in the first place. And that, my friends, is how you leave her with an emotional association.
Yes, but that's not the only way. That's a good way. Who speeds and goes fast like that? Someone who's opposite of Mark. Someone who takes risks, someone who's an outlaw who goes through the charge cycle. I'm not saying do it to that specific woman. The way she spoke, she looks like a low-class hoodlum. She sounds like that with her way that she speaks. But the fact that you're willing to break rules and to live your truth in the way that we speak about shows one of the most missing archetypes in modern day men that did not have their masculine initiation, which is the outlaw archetype.
How's it going, guys? If the lighting looks a little whack in here.
All of them. But yes, bro, like what? She's literally a gold digger with him for the money. Yes.
Doing a new background for my home studio. I had to do the home studio today because I'm feeling a little bit.
He's always sharing about these things about his life. Why? Because he wants them to think, again, what defines someone that you know as part of your tribe compared to a stranger? Someone that you know as part of the tribe, you have been born and lived through a past together. In the present, you know what they're doing, or at least they will come back at the end of the day, tell you the story of their day, and they keep on sharing their goals like, oh, I want to have a child with that woman, I want to live in that house, blah, blah, blah. So you know the past, present, and future. That creates the full circle of you being tribe members, and we elevate that into the 33 unfair advantages. So him speaking about renovating his studio, he's trying to be that nighttime storytelling of telling about his life so that people see him as part of the parasocial connection.
And also Kyle is out on some other mission right now, but I was wondering what was gonna be my topic. I had like some really good like nuts and bolts topic.
Not good. Don't say I'm wondering what was gonna be my topic. Never confused, always decisive. This is part of the stupidity of this dude that shows you that he's not at all a leader.
To talk about today, but something else came up, and if you have been checking out the chat here, I gave you guys the link so you guys can sort of get a little preview of what I'm going to get into today. I win. Once again, I win. Where do we go? Here we go.
This matters whether you win or not. Anytime you declare victory, your tribe feels that you're increasing your primal status and they join you because understand, the red pill and the manosphere is dying. It's in its last breath. A lot of people are leaving and some people are on the fence. So when he declares that he wins, whether it's true or not, it makes them stick with him a bit longer.
Hopefully my things come up. There we go.
Say my name.
Hey, good. My sound drops work. All right. This is my first time in the new studio here, in my home studio anyways. But hopefully everything is working admirably. And let's see, take that out. I have a lot of stuff to dig into today, quite honestly. Let's see if I can get some of these real quick. Emotional intelligence equals we're compatible, aka we both went. There's no such thing as emotional intelligence because they don't. Emotionality does not meet the criteria for cognitive intelligence. That's why, because emotion is something.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. The same way that he defined hypergamy in a way that doesn't work with the dictionary and attacking people for doing the same damn thing.
That I can manipulate in you. I can give you 3 shots of tequila and change your emotional state. No problem.
Yes, and you can stack frames the way we do and change the beliefs and the thoughts of people. Again, he is right now trolling because this is not the truth. This is very, very neutered. And as someone who's a high empath, I truly live the life of emotional intelligence where I can look at people. I know what they feel. I know their emotional state. I can feel it in myself, even in dogs and cats.
I can shoot you up with, let's see, 150 milligrams of Tren and change your emotional state almost immediately. So
I can lobotomize Rollo the Trollo and change his cognitive state immediately. So notice again, he is speaking about the criteria that it doesn't change, but the easiest thing to change is what you find in the brainwashing Bible. You brainwash people and their mind changes, and then you did it. So what does that mean? Nothing. The dude is just creating criteria out of nothing. Diego the God, we love Diego, and it's an honor and a privilege to have him as the one of the highest level people in the Invictus Kings. What do you feel about me, Primal? I already said it. So, I don't know. Without even reading it, it was a telepathy moment.
Emotion is a form of intelligence is entirely incorrect. It's very easy to change one's emotionality, and you say, "Oh well, it's your ability to read emotions and to read." No, that's right. So those are social skills for sure, but.
No, it doesn't matter. Again, hypergamy originally means that a poor family will marry into a richer family because they have a beautiful daughter, and he changed it into women wanting sexier or more successful men or whatever the fuck. So anyway, they have also the right to define their own private language. Do not shy away. If people come and they try to contradict you, doesn't mean that you should agree with them. I had in the beginning someone come and he's like, a tribe of kings? That doesn't make sense. What does it mean, a tribe of kings? It doesn't make sense. Anyway, he was Mark, another low IQ Mark, so we sent him to the poop sock mass graves. But it shows you there are people that will come disagree, which means you're polarizing, which is a good thing. That's a huge positive.
It's an ability to read someone's emotions, sure, but really what that is it's cognitive intelligence that is reading your emotional state, reading physical cues to sort of give you the information so you know what's going on with that other person.
No, you feel it. I feel it. It's not a cognitive state. Empathy is a way where I feel in my body their emotions. He is a zombie, an automaton. He doesn't know what he's talking about, so let's rewind.
Oh, well, it's your ability to read emotions and to read. No, that's right. So those are social skills for sure, but it's an ability to read someone's emotions, sure, but really what that is it's cognitive intelligence that is reading your emotional state.
No, I feel it first and then I label it later. I do not cognitively realize the state. I feel it. It's immediate. As soon as I enter a room, I feel the emotions of everybody. So the dude doesn't know, and notice he's speaking with certainty about something he has no clue about. That's how you put yourself as an authority. So do not let these charlatans who are lying win.
Reading physical cues to sort of give you the information so you know what's going on with that.
No, it's not a knowledge, it's a feeling. I feel everybody's emotions, and then I think about what it means to label it, but the first, it's immediate. So he is saying, anyway, it's very, very Owen Cook, where he's looking for cues. Oh, your eyes are doing this, so that means blah, which means you're in this emotional state. Nope, I feel it all, and then I label it later. This dude doesn't know what he's talking about, which means if this is something as simple as the way that being an empath works, he doesn't know what that means. What else is he wrong about? What else is he bullshitting you about and you think he's correct?
Other person. It's not about intelligence. There is no such thing as emotional intelligence. In fact, this was debunked as far back as like the mid-90s, I think. But yet here we are still talking about it, thinking that it's some sort of reality because we don't know what else to say.
You cannot debunk it. It's a mental model. All mental models have their own definitions. You cannot debunk that. It's not like a physics formula. It's a psychological process. So this is wrong.
It sounds like one of those good things. It's what I call sounds right. A sounds right answer. It sounds right. It's the same.
That's the whole red pill. The red pill to the enraged, divorced poop sock peasants sounds right, but it is bullshit.
Like pretty much everything Sadia Khan talks about is sounds right. It sounds like, oh, yeah, of course. Oh, how brilliant, how profound. No, she's full of shit is what she is. And does not have a degree in psychology. Just throwing that out there once.
He's projecting onto her.
More. Uncle Rollo, have you know?
He doesn't have a degree in evolutionary psychology, and he is bullshitting. And yes, both of them are bullshitters. Only the Invictus Kings are the truthful rulers taking over.
Notice the Red Pill creators that went political are already trying to trans back. Why? Yes, I have. You are a modern day prophet, sir. No, I'm not actually. I just am very good at, let's just say, pattern recognition. I'm a
no. Again, he guesses. This is one of the secret of psychics and mediums. They will predict 1,000 things, and out of those, maybe 4 or 5 will be correct. They take those 4 or 5, and then they are showing them to everybody. Look, in the year 1998, I predicted this, and it was correct. And then in the year 2010, I predicted this, and it was correct. Anyway, they overlook all the wrong things the same way that he's trying to go with it. I have money for you this month. I'll send you like 14 days. Thank you very much, Diego. I salute you. Yes, I appreciate you very much. 714 days. All good. It's time because we're working on private things together, me and King Diego, and we're winning together. And it is only the beginning. That's how we roll. And let's say it. It's, let's say.
You have done the kingdom a service.
Thank you.
Master of pattern recognition. I've been around long enough to see the signs and to know how people operate. It's basic. If you ever want to
notice, when it comes to him, he says, "Oh, I've been long enough doing this to know blah blah blah." And when she said something, he's like, "Oh, you're repeating something from 10 years ago." So for him, longevity is a good thing, but for other people, it means they're obsolete.
Lose your faith in like in humanity. Stick around as long as I have in the Manosphere. You will lose all faith. Thank you, Sam Whiskey. Much appreciated.
Manosphere is filled with subhuman psychopaths.
Get one of those. Anytime it's for Ned, you get a Don DeMarco. Yeah, I have noticed that actually. The
previous live stream, I've shown you how he uses his dog to ask for money, to beg like a beggar. It's bad for him. Diego the God, yes, it's only the beginning of a small amount. I'll send you. Let's go. It's a
king thing.
I appreciate you very, very much, Diego. And really, Diego has been impressed by the highest level package of trainings, the roadmap to 100K. That he is sharing extra because many people said it is already underpriced for the unique value that you get from there. And thank you very, very much, Diego. We are all here to win together, but the outsiders, the lazy ones, the people that couldn't even watch 12-minute video like that Mark, and 3 weeks later keeps on asking the same questions about what's in that video, never ever taken initiative. Those people deserve to be sent to Stalin for some gulag action until they freeze to death.
Shout out to Fresh and Fit. I gotta give them their props. How many fights has it been in this one week? I'm up to 3 now. It might be 4. I'm not sure. They have at least 2, maybe 3 fights have occurred on the show in the last week. And I believe that the Manosphere is healing because now we've got...
It's funny because we did a live stream where he was saying the Manosphere doesn't exist. It's only the red pill. The Manosphere is filled with idiots. Now he's back to saying that he loves the Manosphere. He has no integrity. This dude switches with the wind like no other.
On back to like fights on Fresh and Fit instead of this bullshit political crap. And it's nice to see. Sort of a return, at least amongst some of my friends who I still count as friends. What do you got? Hey, Rollo.
Notice he's not teaching anything. People value gossip more than education. And right now he's being a gossip lady and they love him.
You and Ned, you said Ned, have been doing well. What can a regular red pill aware guy expect to see and prepare for now that the election cycle is over? Would you like me to tell you? Would you like to know more? Wait, do I have that law? Yeah, I do. Oh, I don't. That's not loaded. Would you like to know more? Yes. So the next thing you can pretty much expect is that we're probably going to pivot to, you'll see, I can't say it's going to be immediate because it's not going to be immediate. I would say probably by summertime, you will see.
Notice how he makes his predictions, saying probably. And then if it's right, he will be like, yeah, I'm so correct all the time. If it's wrong, he will say, I said probably.
A regular red pill aware guy expected.
So let's listen to him.
See and prepare for now that the election cycle is over. Would you like me to tell you? Would you like to know more? Wait, do I have that law? Yeah, I do. Oh, I don't. That's not loaded. Would you like to know more?
No, so I was going to say probably twice. And then if it's correct, he will say, I'm always correct. I'm sure, always. But then if it's wrong, he will say, well, I said probably.
Yes. So the next thing you can pretty much expect is that we're probably going to pivot to, you'll see, I can't say it's going to be immediate because it's not going to be immediate. I would say probably by summertime, you will see.
Notice, probably by summertime, probably you'll see, probably. And then if it's right, his guess, again, he makes billions of guesses. And then the few that are right, he presents himself as the oracle.
You'll see a sort of shifting back towards black pill and MGTOW. Those will be the next hot items. And honestly, because we are in sort of a conservative zeitgeist.
By the way, he's guessing. He doesn't know more than you do. He just dares to put his loud voice on the line.
And our political narrative is going to be swinging much more conservatively these days. You will see two things happen. First, in the beginning states, probably within 2025 for sure, you're going to see a lot of people who can't pivot back to the red pill are going to double down on the traditional tradcon, femcon, whatever it is. Trad fem. You're going to see them double down on this. In fact, I'm going to talk about that a little bit today because Gia McCool has decided to jump the shark and do exactly what I'm just saying right now. A gal that I used to, at least in some way.
Again, he calls it a podcast when it is a gossip session, and the little brain loves gossip more than it is in love with education.
She had some sort of brain cells left in her brains, but apparently not. And the only conclusion I'm left with as far as Gia is concerned is that she's decided to have, a targeted engagement, for lack of a better term, targeted engagement company take over her Twitter. So, and a lot of people do this too, by the way. Chris Williamson does not do his own tweets. Michaela Peterson, I'm not sure does. Well, maybe she does. But she does the Twitter for her father. So anytime you see something sort of out of character being tweeted by Jordan Peterson, it's because Michaela Peterson is the one who is sort of being the sock puppet, or she's the puppet master. Jordan Peterson has not done his own social media for quite some time, and I can think of at least 4 different instances where she's been Michaela's been interviewed, and she's basically said, I run my dad's Twitter account. So anytime it seems like he's saying something out of character, especially when it's talking about Israel and Palestine or something like where the hell is this coming from, right? It's because Michaela Peterson is using her dad's clout and using her dad as the sock puppet to sort of mouth off for herself, to give it a little bit of extra emphasis, I guess. So bear in mind that a lot of these bigger accounts right now don't actually run their own, run their own accounts. If you're coming at me on Twitter, that's me. Okay. I use the guys from MLM.
Why does he need to say that? Because people discovered him with his hidden Twitter thing where he was absolutely salivating after women that are rejecting him and saying bad shit about other races. So that's why he's like, no, actually my Twitter, it's me. My name is Rational Male.
For my Reignite stuff on Instagram, but I see every single one of those and I respond to those as well. So if you got a sort of a out of the blue response from me on Instagram, it was probably my Reignite crew that were gauging interest. By the way, we have decided that we're going to open it up a little bit more. I think a lot of people think that my Reignite program is just for 40 and up. It's the old guys red pill. That is not.
Yes. And again, now he's trying to expand it so that he milks more incels for money. Like I said from the beginning, he spoke about how he was attracting older men who just got divorced and have money, and they spend tons of money as soon as they read his book with him. It is a brainwashing Bible, but now he wants to expand that beyond the older guys to milk some teens and early 20s for their cash.
If you are zeroed out in any way, I don't care how old you are more than welcome to join Reignite. That's really kind of our charter, is to help guys sort of fight back from zero or come back from being zeroed out. That's really the mission statement.
By the way, do not use the words he said. Our mission or our charter is to sort of help guys. No, sort of destroys your delusional confidence. Speak it as it is. Be decisive and say it with polarization.
Reignite. So don't think that if you're not 40 years old or wherever that you can.
By the way, he has a lot of mistakes and lack of skills. If you for real know that you can help men better, help humanity better, and you want to know your strengths as well as the opportunities for you that can dethrone this poop sock Rollo the Trollo, click this free link to go through the 5-minute assessment to compare your skills and your thoughts to him and the other gurus to find the opening, the category of one that is appropriate for you, as you'll receive a PDF with your unique profile and you'll receive a second email. Search for it immediately. That gives you the beginning of the 10 days of the rules of winning in this new lizard brain economy.
So I wanted to make that clear because I think a lot of people are getting confused about that. I had mentioned that the prime demographic for male self-deletion is between 45 and 65, and I think people really kind of figured that was the age range that we were.
No, it's because when they look at him, they have uncommon commonality with him when they think they're the same age. So it's not because he said that they figured that. No. It's again, remember that you attract people with uncommon commonalities with you. So him speaking about being married 27 years and all that will attract a group of people that are way older than the young guys. So now he's trying to justify and to appeal to younger demographics because he has been running out of cash.
Specifically targeting, we're really not. So really it's just to help guys sort of come back, fight back from zero. So I don't care how.
No, it's sort of to help guys kind of come back. Don't speak in those words at all. So let's go. Skoro Egan, can you quickly overview how Michael Sartain is a fraud or the problems with his program? No, this is a live stream about Rollo the Trollo. So either generally about Primal Status or about this, but there is a playlist on this channel that shows you my debate with Michael Sartain, as well as multiple videos that expose the problem with his program. And many people who took his program then took the advanced trainings that you can find after you go here and finish the evaluation. And they say you will find more than 160 testimonials that femboy of inaction that is there in order for you to not really do what he does. There is a lot of things that make you a minion that is bringing him the girls under his name, and then all you get from it is photographs and paying extra money in order for you to be a mini-me. He is the one that is absolutely gaining all the primal status, and instead of doing that, we build our own real tribe that replaces the need for that fake social group that is aligned with you, truthful to you. Plus, this is what really works. It explains to you what he does that he never shares. So again, many people transform their lives, build their tribe of superfans and of women, tribe of women that are absolutely enamored with them, instead of actually building his primal status. Although you think you're not, but you're actually benefiting him and being a mini-me. A minion will never get the results of a primal status superior. So again, ask me anything related to this specific video. If not, there is a full playlist on Michael Sartain. Search Primal Status Michael Sartain and you'll find all of that. And make sure to click this link in order for you to evaluate your skills compared to Michael Sartain and your strengths and weaknesses, and you'll receive a free PDF and 10 days of video trainings that explain to you how winning really happens.
They're more than ready to, my whole network is more than ready to help you guys out. So
my whole network. I remember this dude as well is the one that was specialized in old men that join the coaching of Michael Sartain, making him a little affiliate. A king should be the highest status person in any group, or an ally that is an equal. But as soon as you become a subservient, even if you think you're not, you are giving away your primal status to that guy.
Keep that in mind. But I do use MOA, the guys from MOA, to my engagement on Instagram. But people will go, oh, well, Rollo, this isn't the real Rollo. I'm like, no, this is I'll jump in. I'll go, no, this is the real Rollo. And I'll let you.
By the way, since that time, exposing the truth, this is Michael Sartain attacking me in many, many ways, including calling me, have you been diagnosed for NPD yet? I'm being serious. He comes to this channel, stalks it. He is a subscriber that keeps on watching with a stank face, taking notes, because this is what really works. The mumbo jumbo that he sells you is more for low-level promoters. We're speaking about being a real king.
I am.
And also notice, this dude, Rollo the Trollo, is attacking Mihaila Peterson for writing in the Twitter of her father. And he's saying it's not the real deal. But then he's saying, look, I'm using femboys of inaction for engagement. I have the Ignite team. They're writing my tweets and all that. So before, he used to attack them and say, only me write my tweets. Now he needs to backpedal.
I'm actually reading every one of these responses. So just so you know, nobody is running my Twitter, however. So that's me. All me, baby.
He literally said the opposite a few seconds ago, that, oh, my Ignite team is testing some tweets on mine and I'm using femboys of inaction for some engagement.
So anytime you get offended or you're some sort of flame war, that's... Sorry.
No, again, as soon as there was the vasectomy issue, he kept on apologizing everywhere. He doesn't have the balls to create flame wars like he said. And remember, during my debate with him and Michael Sartain, he was taking notes after notes based on what I was sharing. He was not at all in a headspace to debate. He was impressed and absolutely being a good little student.
Me. But anyways. Let's see. Here we go. Rollo, Jackson, JS2, or God, are you kidding? No, I'm not a Schecter guy. No. Oh, Jackson, even Jackson. I think I own 3 Jacksons. Yeah.
Uncommon commonality. This matters more than knowledge. The uncommon commonality is what builds bonds parasocially.
I own 1 Jackson base. I own a Rhodes flying like shark fin, like Randy Rhodes style one. And then I got another 7-string Jackson. I got those 3. I'm trying to think if I own any other Jacksons, but no, I've never owned a Schecter. I've never really. Schecter kind of like has like the prog rock, nerd rock, math rock feel to it. I don't know. I mean, it's probably a great guitar. I don't know. CJ, when I was playing in Trial of Ascension, CJ swore by Schecters. So I don't know. I'm more of a Jackson Kramer guy. So, and Ibanez. No matter what Ryan Stone says. Hey, Rollo, doing well? Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, I have. So I was just to follow up on that. Yeah, I have seen this. I think a lot of people are sort of coming back in, or want to come back into the fold. Now suddenly no one is red pill adjacent. Everybody wants to get back to their roots. Hey, we kind of fell away from our roots, man. It's time to get back to the good stuff again.
What is he doing? By attacking them, making them seem like grifters? People will think that he's not a grifter anymore, although in reality he's stuck within the red pill because he has no other options and no other talents except to mumbo jumbo to older guys.
Yeah, okay. No, you were never about it in the first place. So I missed how Michaela Peterson getting Destiny to be interviewed by her father. Yeah. I don't know how that happened, quite honestly. And I know they're doing Peterson's Academy and, hey, more power to you, Rob Henderson. But I think that was a sinking ship before they even started building the boat. So, keep it up, guys. It was funny. I kept seeing all these people who I knew damn well wanted to be instructors at Peterson Academy. And they have been wanting to be sort of on that grift for probably about the last 2.5, maybe 3 years, because that's how long it took them to get that shit off the ground. And now they do. And it ain't all that. In fact, the white background, like this, it's like they're in heaven, right? Or it's like an episode of Severance. You know, like they're in these like really nondescript backgrounds and there's nothing going on. It's like they have this super white background and it's like have I died and gone to heaven and now I have to sit through this fucking TED talk? Yeah, it's is this really heaven?
Attacking. Notice the trolling. It matters. Bringing the trickster will always lower the primal status of the people. Diego the God, go clarify my cold. Thank you. Yes, those trainings will really change your life. I'm happy that you are a serious person who's putting in the action to get the answers, not like Mark.
Yeah, I don't know who came up with that idea of just doing like this bleach blank white background but it looks like I'm talking to St. Peter. Maybe that's it, St. Peterson, right? That's crazy. So let's see what we have to do today. What should we get into first? Oh, I know. How about we talk about Destiny and Lauren Southern? Oh my goodness. Yeah, going back to
I told you, gossip is more enchanting in this new lizard brain economy. So you have to know where to start in order to elevate people and empower them. And this is him wasting your time basically to serve himself.
That well again, that watering hole. What was Rollo right about? Well, I'm glad you wait. Hold on. There we go. I'm glad you asked, TH Silva 21, because I'm about to show you here in just a moment. We're gonna riff on this video for quite some time. Let's go. Where is it? Okay. So let me give you the build up here. This is I want to say her name is Brittany Simon. I have no idea who this person is. I was only made aware of this video about a day ago, courtesy of Andrew Wilson. Thank you, Andrew, for turning me on to this. And Andrew did a very long kind of
we will be discussing the street.
Okay, we'll come back to her in a second. Andrew did this tour de force.
Is Rollo going to ask her for nudes as well? Let's see.
Video on Destiny, and as a result of this, I mean, he was just basically laying into everybody, but I think this is probably what triggered him in the first place. So thank you, Andrew, for turning me on to this video. This is Brittany Simon. I have no idea who she is. I have a feeling she's probably part of Destiny's Progressive Victory DNC pack group, since he's the ringleader of all this bullshit. And I want to begin by just sort of giving you guys he was ripping on all of his haters.
Creating conspiracy. This is him. He needs to, and he notice how he's positioning someone that the Manosphere hates a lot, the blue-haired cock, and saying he's the ringleader. That again shows him protecting them and defending the tribe against the enemies, which makes you seem a lot more useful than if you declare that it's time of peace.
Yeah, he definitely was, Kyle.
This is why I look forward to seeing, after the Trump guys won, what conspiracy they're going to build, because when you win, it becomes much harder for you to stay the underdog.
I want to give you a little bit of a background here before we get started. All these people are connected, and I made this public about 2 weeks ago.
How does he know? He's guessing. And it's good. When he makes everybody connected, he unifies the forces of evil. And that is a huge part of creating a coherent conspiracy. Is it real? No. But is it a good fantasy that the lizard brain will lap up? Yes.
3 weeks ago. It was right after the election. That's what it was. So about 2 weeks ago. And the reason why I made a big deal out of it is because Destiny and let's see, Brittany Venti, Lauren Southern, Lauren Chen, Tim Pool, trying to think who else. Jasmine Jafar, Dime Star, Walmart Mia Khalifa, Farah.
Let's go. Suave Day Game. Watch one of your videos. You said you've done more than 100,000. No. Day Game approaches. How long did it take you to do that many approaches? I did 13,000. It took 15 years. And there is a playlist on this channel which is called genuine desire breakdowns. Search Primal Status Genuine Desire Breakdowns, and you'll see me breaking down day game approaches, dates in fields, and all kind of stuff. So you know it's a real deal. I never said 100,000. No, dude, I don't live just to be doing that. 13,000 was already a long journey to realize that building your own tribe of women, that's what we do, building your tribe of concubines and penetrating women intellectually at scale using the internet is the superior superlative king way. It is what works today. It is what to have the celebrity effect instead of being the poop sock pussy beggar. And that's why I am against day game. Unless you are 18 and you have no balls and need to get rejected enough for you to develop your frame. So where did you get that? Why are you saying 100K? Are you hearing things wrong? Because there is specifically, I mentioned each time how long it takes. And so 100K is something that will be really a loser doing that. Only a loser will do 100K approaches because he will not wake the fuck up to understanding primal status is the real aphrodisiac and the secret to super hottie attraction instead of dealing with average day game and POA pickup nightclub hoes.
Let's see who else. Oh, Pixie was on all this. I'm going to presume Brittany Simon is in this group too. She was one of the regulars, put it this way, and now she's decided to throw Destiny under the bus, along with everybody else, by the way, because it's hard times for.
No more 13,000 and the last one, the completion of 13,000 was specifically last year before I did more evolution and live in Dubai. So again, I know your name is Suave Day Game. Building your primal status makes you not required to be Suave and not required to deal with day game women because there is a switch that flips within women that makes them and is absolutely ingrained with them to be attracted to powerful men. And when you speak in a way that penetrates her mind and owns her soul, that is much, much superior to the poop sock gamers, tricks, and gambits. Again, search Primal Status, Genuine Desire Breakdowns, and you'll see things that will blow your mind. The level of power that we have around here, of knowledge and expertise, is found nowhere else. This is one of a kind, deep knowledge and wisdom.
I think the polish has come off of this rose here, and I think a lot of people are beginning to realize what he's all. Yeah, let's hope he disappears. Well, that's the problem with guys like Destiny. I think a lot of people want to give him more credit than he's really due. And the reason for that
he is literally giving him more credit than he's due, saying he's the ringleader of that NGO. But either way, right now, he needs to, and it's very important, to lower the primal status of your enemies, which by default elevates your primal status.
Because Destiny is functionally autistic. He meets all the criteria for functional autism. And in damn near
more warrior weapon right now.
And you're going to see this in this video as well. But in damn near every video that he does, he's doing one of these things, which is
same thing with Rollo the Trollo. He's projecting
the Vyvanse, which is the Adderall, which is really that's what tweakers do. That's like it's the methamphetamine. Now I'm not saying he's on meth. I don't know that for sure. I don't think he is, but he is certainly on Vyvanse. He's on some industrial grade form of Adderall, and the last I heard it was Vyvanse. So he's got a Vyvanse dependency. I'm sure of that. So checking back in on this, I wanted to sort of give you guys the build up here because all these people are connected. Brittany Venti, by the way, connected to Nick Fuentes, was part.
Doesn't mean anything. Again, just because two people mentioned each other once, he's going to create a whole map of similar to those police movies that keep on connecting the suspects together. He's going to create that map. It's all an illusion, but this fantasy is loved by the lizard brain
crew when they went and did the Charlottesville Tiki Torch Parade back in 2015, 2016, something like that. She's there right by his side. I don't know where she was during January 6th. I don't rightly care. I'm just pointing out that there was and I don't care what your whole take is on all of that. I'm just saying the connection's there. She's there. They're there. Every one of these people is connected with the other.
Again, connected doesn't mean just because they stood next to each other at a rally doesn't mean that they are the masterminds that are doing crazy shit behind the scenes, but he needs to create that. Creating conspiracy and making the enemy even more sneaky and mischievous makes people increase their cortisol, need the protection, and think if he knows all this, then he knows how to protect us. Just like if a doctor knows how to diagnose the illness, the person insists to get cured by that doctor.
Even Alex from Date Psych connected with Lauren Southern because he featured heavily in Lauren's now deleted documentary for Tenet Media. Why was it deleted, Rollo? Well, because they are under federal investigation. Tenet Media is under federal investigation for accepting $10 million in Russian money to be influencers in the last election, which, by the way, Tim Pool is implicated in that. Lauren Southern is implicated in that. Lauren Chen is most definitely implicated in that. And by the way, Lauren Chen and Lauren Southern, both Canadian nationals, I believe. So I wanted to sort of go back in time a little bit here. And because a lot of people didn't want to believe me during the time. And probably a lot of the people watching this video right now, you didn't fucking believe me either. And so that's why I'm going to sort of rewind the tape just a little bit here. It was the summer, like July, around late July of 2023. And this was a time when everybody was saying, "Oh, Rollo, you got had."
By the way, I did a live stream breakdown on Rollo the Trollo and Michael Sartain dying at the hand of Destiny in a debate where he decimated them. Make sure to search for that. Was Lauren Southern and Destiny and a lot of these other Twitch kids. I should say former Twitch kids because they got kicked off of Twitch and then they decided to come over to YouTube. And by the way, most of them were either paid by Progressive Victory or apparently Russia right now. I'm not really 100% sure. But during this time, there was this sort of collusion between all these guys and Lauren Southern being one of them. How does he know who pays them and all that? All of this is him guessing, but speaking with certainty in order to create conspiracy.
And decided that they were going to.
It's very useful. Conspiracy is one of the most useful tools, but I show you, he is pulling it out of his ass because it works. And people love this kind of gossip, even if it has no basis.
Come up with some faked OBGYN or what was it, faked ultrasound document. And they went to quite...
Oh, they trolled him that time. It's legendary how much they destroyed him, and he's still butthurt, speaking about it till today. The best thing you do about such circumstance is use the recency bias when you keep on either like Donald Trump creating new controversies so that they forget the older one, or you keep moving and let time destroy all that. But by reminding people of it again and again and again and again. Yes, so you've been dating since around 15 years, and you're still doing approaches even last year. So I'm sure you've got some results, yes? So why exactly did you decide to stop doing it? Is it more because you're now some sort of public figure, like you want to manage your reputation and don't want people to see you approach girls in public? No. Again, first Suave, before all of that, because you're asking me many questions that I answered publicly, and I did speak all about that in multiple places. How did you discover my channel? What interested you in this channel and my work? Because this channel is not focused on day game, so what brought you here and what made you interested in this? But I have specific reasons why. And those specific reasons, I already shared them. I can share them again, but for you, which video, which guru, which thing brought you here? And why are you interested in this if it's not focused on day game?
Quite an elaborate effort to trick me into thinking that this thing was legit. Well, the reason why I thought it was legit was because the actual document is legit. It was pulled off of a...
Anyway, it doesn't matter. This dude loves gossip.
A website for admission for a for an ultrasound for a quote unquote baby that was supposed to have been between, let's just say, Destiny and Lauren Southern. Now, I've already said, hey, you know, mea culpa. I probably should have done a little bit more due diligence on this. But the reason why I sort of made a big deal out of it is because, well, my wife used to be a medical professional. I'm not going to tell you what, but she was in, let's just say, medical imaging. And so when people go, oh, he asked his wife about it. Yes, I did, because my wife was in medical imaging. She was, I'm not going to tell you exactly what she did, but it wasn't just x-rays. It was like CT scans and other things like that too. So when I was looking at this, I showed it to her. I said, does this look legit to you? And she said, yeah, sir, absolutely. And then we actually went and talked to one of her.
Let's go. Rollo's video brought me here. Yes, I am into day game and POA red pill stuff. You might or might not be someone who enjoys this channel, and I will explain to you the truth, which is I am someone that started from the beginning and in this sense that I am someone that have been through the time of using the mystery method, the natural day game, the gun witch method, the Tim natural flawless 10 game by Julian Blanc, many other ones of the others companies. I'm very aware of all of them. I tested everything in depth. I committed to it. I know Captain Jack. I know a lot of those people that yes, I know them all. Good shit. So that first I want to establish that I tested and did not judge any of these things at all. And I noticed that. And I did everything. I did cold approach in Western Europe, in Eastern Europe, including in Ukraine, where I lived for a while, and I lost everything in the second war. I did it in Asia. I did everywhere where you can. Yes, I'm one of the OGs, like straight up. I started just after the, the Blueprint Decoded was live. And so since that time, I have bought everything, done everything, all of it. There is 0% that you can tell me about that I haven't used their content and tested it. So you do get results from day game, but there is multiple things that I will speak about that explain it to you. In the Blueprint Decoded, and this is one of the things that I began like worrying me a little bit, there is a section where Owen Cook at that time said that he went to with some rich men that they were in a private section in a nightclub, and the way that the women treated them compared to how he needed to be a dancing monkey all the time, he said, fuck game, this is what's supposed to be. And I was like, what? Why is he saying that? And that began a little bit me noticing more and more that you being a cold approach day game dude could get you up to a 7, but the women that are 11s and 12s that don't even walk in the street, they do not go anywhere. They are often either getting paid for their looks or constantly being chauffeured around and going from private party to private party and all that shit. And I noticed that those women, all of them, are very, very attracted to powerful and rich men. I had an experience where I spent 3 months with a Middle East royalty that I tell the story of that I discovered in an online forum. And the way that women treated that guy compared to, I have an Italian friend who's a male model. The male model couldn't or cannot compete with the level of crazy desire and the level of like Bambi eyes that royal dude did by doing nothing. He was just chilling, and women will actually chase him. They will look at him like, oh my God, you're my love. Remember those memes that say, find a woman that look at you like this. I observed and noticed, and I spoke also privately to Tim from the Natural Lifestyles, if you remember, Viking Lifestyles. No, not the Natural Lifestyles, although I know James Marshall. But Tim from the Viking Lifestyles, the guy in New York, the black guy who has a hair at the time that looks like The Weeknd. And he was someone that was the wingman of Julian. And he said, he has never seen Julian pull a woman that was hotter than a 7. No matter what they show when they hide the faces, you might think they're beautiful, but I noticed and I paid attention. The hottest women in the world are not being seduced by POAs, the real beautiful women who have a lot of attention and have a lot of things going for them. They might sleep with their judo master, like Giselle Bundchen. They might sleep with Osho, who is their spiritual leader, but never ever with a POA. They might waste your time where you think, oh, I need to say this and I need to persist. And then 6 months later, she might come have a coffee and then disappear back into the night. So there is a lot of time wasted, and you will think, but you're getting results. The results are average hoes at best, no matter what you do. But when you elevate your stature, you become a somebody, you become that high status, primal status superior, you get access to a level of women. I speak about the primal status glass ceiling, where opportunities and the level of attraction that women have for powerful men are not available to poop sock peasants. And then I doubled down and noticed something that we did breakdowns on. John Zerka, who some people consider to be a POA and someone who is supposedly attractive to women, spoke about how 2 times he lost beautiful women to 2 men that had higher primal status. He went with one of the live streamer girls that he said, I've been working on for a whole month. And then we went to TwitchCon, and then bam, when she saw Destiny, which is a guy we're speaking about today, she ran to sleep with Destiny and left John Zerka behind. And then next thing is John Zerka went to Miami, and he spoke about that as well. And he was all night flirting with a girl and was warming her up, doing all the tricks and triggering emotions. And then when they went outside, waiting for an Uber, fresh from the Fresh and Fit, the Walter Weeks stopped with his Rolls Royce, opened the door and did like this. The girl went running to enter into the Rolls Royce and go home with Walter Weeks and left John Zerka with blue balls. And then there is Alex from RSD Alex, who did the 4-week natural. When he created his training of No Reason You Are Not Enough, he started it by saying, I have never seen a guy who got results from game. It doesn't exist. He said that all the people that will be like push-pulling and showing you highlights, they never got any girls. And often it is some dude who's just chilling, who has high status, who takes the women with him at home. And then I did, and I explain that in the 10 videos, when I used the 33 unfair advantages to build my own tribe of women, I had 12 girlfriends who were much hotter than any of the women that you would have because of game. And you will notice as well that when you get women in a way that is based on you being a day gamer, often it's not you who will ghost them, but many of them. And it's not. I know the sex god method and all of it. I know all of it very well. They will just escape their day, maybe, if you're lucky, to have sex with you once, but then they think, oh, it's such a good adventure, and block you the next day. So you are constantly like Sisyphus pulling uphill in order for you to have nothing to show for it, compared to you building a tribe where there are women that will keep on multiplying itself and giving you resources and access to hotties forever. So again, building primal status is you creating a celebrity effect and creating a tribe that multiplies itself in superfans and in women, so that you need to do less and less over time. The last 15 years, I know how to do more, I know how to do better, but you will still need to, it's not a good look, you still need to start from zero every single time. And that is something that is you choosing to be a slave, every wealthy person. And again, when I understood that wealth is about compound interest, day game is one of the worst loser things. And if you think, but I'm improving my skills, there is a ceiling. You won't improve your skills 1,000 times better. Doesn't exist. So you will reach a point where they speak about in economics where the marginal return crosses with the marginal marginal revenue and marginal cost. So again, there is no asset built by you being a poop sock day gamer. Plus, there is a glass ceiling that rarely, if ever, like there is a dude which is called Icy Gamer. If you know him, you know, where I remember a time where I was speaking to him, comparing like who are the real super hotties that you could have pulled. And he counted in his 10 days of game at the time, he only did 2 perfect 10s. Why? He said both of them too had psychological issues where they had such low self-esteem that they thought they are a 5 or a 6. If they didn't, he wouldn't be able to do that, compared to a dude that you consider to be cliche, which is true, pull up with a Lamborghini and with an Audemars Piguet and be a somebody who everybody in the place is like, salute you, blah, blah, blah. And then you will see the level of power and effect where you don't even need to talk to take the hotties. So again, it is a matter of building assets. I did the freelancer thing, which is similar to day game, where each time you find a client, well, over time, the clients, you will lose them and you need to start from zero. You're constantly hustling for the next thing. You're constantly with this girl, but then trying to keep in touch with that other girl and keep in touch with that one. And the level of percentage that you get is so low that it's not worth it compared to you building an asset, you building your own sovereign territory where you're always starting from high. Like what I built yesterday when it comes to this primal status is something that I'm building on today. So I'm always expanding higher and higher compared to poop sock shit like day game, where each time you need to start from zero. And anytime that you do that, unless you're going to flex hard how successful you are going to always end up with average hoes at best. And most of them, they are bored, they're looking for quick adventure and then block you, which means you don't even get a high return on income. Yes, I dated some women for longer, but yo, dude, you need to spend a long time where you have no time to work on your money, no time to develop yourself. You're dedicating yourself to hitting the streets like Yad, and that's it. Let's see. So you mean frame and status power are superior to game? That's what we're about. We're about stacking frames, and we are like we took this to the highest level, which is the level where there are 33 steps to you building the perception, because controlling perception is superior to reality, that you are an absolute real leader with followers, with devoted people, with all that. So yes, I am saying that game is poop sock thing doesn't work. And every one of the people in the Invictus Kings had moments where they had women falling in love with their game, but then the dude with status and power pulls up and they lose the girl immediately. It works like that. So you mean fame, wealth, no, not necessarily fame. Again, although I would say wealth triumphs, also fame could be. It could be a useful thing, but we don't focus on it because it's unnecessary. If she's in your tribe, you are famous to her, and that's what we are all about. I don't want to be famous to the poop sock peasants. We do not want to build that because that creates a life of limits where you need to deal with paparazzis and with interactions with random poop socks. But as long as you're famous in your tribe, which you create from scratch, it is superior to everything. Yes. Yes, this is absolute the truth. There is nobody who knows what they're doing that will contradict this. Or crazy ones, personality disorder. Yes, this King Bedouin speaking about it. Yes, game might also and often works with crazy women that have personality disorders. That's why they respond to it. And what's up, Diggs? What's up? Happy to see you here, the king. Let's go.
It's a king thing.
And I really know what I'm talking about. Watch the playlist, which is called Genuine Desire Breakdowns, and you will see with your eyes real truth, which is, again, why is someone, a poop sock peasant like Michael Sartain, building his wealth and his status? Because that attracts women a lot more than anything. I have seen like that. Royal friend is super ugly, and the loser male model and the quality of women that my royal friend gets is incredible, and the dude who is a male model gets women who are less attractive than him, that are looking up to him like, oh, but they are like I wouldn't get paid to sleep with them. Again, also you get better taste. In the beginning, you're like day gaming. You're like, oh, a notch is a notch. But over time, you want the best of the best. You want the top women, and those top women want a king. They do not respond to your game poop soccery, and it doesn't work. Even if you believe in a poop, and that's why, again, I know for a fact that Owen Cook knows this to be true. He uses this with his Hollywood mansion. Why doesn't he live in the valley, in San Fernando Valley, like a poor person? Why does he insist to live in Hollywood Hills? Why does he insist to wear Rolexes in gold and diamonds? Why does he insist to be wearing expensive leather shoes? I believe snake or whatever, all that, because that's what matters. And that's something that he also spoke about. There are deleted videos of Julien Blanc and of Owen Cook, and I watched that and I remember it clearly because I pay attention to all the details, where they were speaking about, oh, game doesn't work on tens. They literally say it. Game doesn't work on tens. You need to be a somebody in order for you to attract a 10. And the beautiful thing is the lizard brain doesn't understand the reality whether you're a somebody or not. It's looking for 33 specific things that once you trigger in the mind of a person or a woman, she sees you as a somebody, and then to her, you become her god, her king, the number one. And King Bedouin knows. Once he started to use primal status, now women are in love with him, and he's literally, this is true, he's kicking them out and they don't want to leave because they want to stay all around him. I studied Ross Jeffries, yes. Speed seduction as well. David D'Angelo, yes. Yad with the Yad stop. I even did the Yad stop in the crazy thing in Europe. Everything. Like literally, I fully dedicated myself, RSD, all of it. Even the Hand of God or whatever from Aussie. Yes, Todd Valentine, yes. John Anthony Lifestyle, I'm aware of what he does. I just don't consider him to be good. So not much. And many others for many years. What's game? It's nonsense. I agree with you. It is you giving yourself the illusion that you have some tricks, when in reality, be a somebody, build status, and everything else will fall into place. And status is, I show you how to turn status into wealth as well. But wealth without status is you being a trust fund baby that loses his money. So we focus on status, and then the rest is secondary. Yes, there is only status when it comes down. Exactly. And I wanted to refuse this. I am someone who wanted and hoped that game would work, that day game, it's fun. But no, it doesn't work. I guess your royal friend is like a local celebrity, like he must be a popular guy in the area. Or I noticed even more, it's not that the women know him. It is that someone, let's say a waiter or whatever, will say, oh, do you know who that guy is? And then bam, it's same thing. So he's not necessarily a local celebrity in the sense that the women know him. It is in the sense that the women will be told that he is a royal guy, and then they will absolutely go crazy, go run to give him their number, and they're like, please call me, please, blah, blah, all that. Like there is no ego, there is no bit shield, there is no hesitation, nothing. So no, he's not a local celebrity in the sense that you think he is. He is just, people will tell others, oh, do you know who that is? Do you know who that is? Which again is something. So there is a lot of his power that we inculcated and used, and I used it as well. So I had similar results when I did, and we all do, without needing to be royal, because it is a specific thing. It's again, how do you know something is delicious? If you smell it, if your mouth waters, if you get before you taste it, you will know based on perceptions. So those for us are 33 things. I agree, the Bedouin God, who's gaming who, it sets you up for a few crazy ones to run game on you. Yes, when you're doing the poop sock game, you're always the one getting gamed until you have status. Exactly, the Bedouin God knows.
It's a king thing.
So basically status equals fame. No, are you that same guy that is obsessed with fame? So again, ignore fame, ignore it. Again, being known because fame comes with connotations that we do not agree with. So delete the word fame from your mind and think about it as being the creator of your own universe, the god of your own tribe, the sovereign entity of your tribe of females and males. So I know who you are. You're coming back with a different name and you're basically trying to push fame on. It's an illusion. Oh, I used my XYZ the method and gamed her. Yes, 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 yes. It's an illusion. In order for the waitress to organize, it must be famous. No. Again, I did the same thing by going to the same place, tipping hard and being known and speaking to the people, and it works. It's basic. Again, it's not like that. If you go to the same place and you are someone who has a primal status in that place, then it will work. So again, let's say it differently. Let's try to find someone who's not okay. Let's say it in a different way. Let's say someone wins the Nobel Prize without being famous, and then they go after that to celebrate it to a restaurant, and someone tells the waiter, oh, do you know this guy? He just won the Nobel Prize. And then everybody tells each other about him, and he will get the same results. You don't need to be famous. Again, ignore fame. You are obsessed with fame, which will fuck you up because it's a vanity metric, and it's not what we are all about. Again, the Bedouin King, are you famous? You're not famous, but aren't you a heartbreaker getting super hotties half your age to be suicidal because they miss you? Yes. So again, we don't need fame. Status is within a context. You're not just a blanket fame. Yes, for me, I don't care about a famous drag queen, but for a certain group, they have status, yes. And again, King Bedouin, you prefer to not be famous and you chose to not be famous, and yet you have super hotties within your life. Yeah, I don't want to be famous to everyone, just a small tribe of loyal followers, not everyone who cares about everyone. Exactly. Just to your soulmates, you'll be famous to them, not to random people. A math professor may have status in his own classroom, but he's not famous. Exactly. He leaves the campus, nobody cares about him. Yes, Donald Trump is famous and has status, but not his own wife because she's not his fan. Exactly. That's a good example. He literally paid and bought the wife, and she doesn't treat him as a king because he did not own her mind. That's not. So I know who you are. You're the dude who keeps on coming, being obsessed with fame. Go get your fame on. I remember you had a Latino name, but for us, we are doing what works. I don't need to waste resources and time on secondary quests like fame when the main thing is what matters. Again, a pimp owns the mind of his bottom bitches, but he doesn't need to be famous for that.
She said it looks legit, but again, it's a Canadian document, so she can't say 100% for sure, but it looked fairly legit. And the reason for that is because they went to the extent of hiring somebody to Photoshop this thing, so it
justifying himself. Like I said, recency bias, he should move on to the next thing and not keep doing it. Urban legend knows. He knows now that he uses primal status, how women work, and how status is the greatest power in the world. Game is the biggest fraud, though. Yes, it is. I believed in it at some point, but it is fraud. NLP is fraud as well. It's unfortunately the truth. It's all nonsense. Well, I walked around for 4 hours today saying dumb things to people, and now I'm going home to text them. Yes, and it's exhausting. Like literally. You need to be wearing some New Balance shoes like a daddy or something, because doing it for so long every day is, yes, game is for low lives. Plus, you don't build an asset. We want an asset that keeps on multiplying forever. So again, you know, with the Bedouin Hypnotist King, we spoke about it. Every video that I created is being watched right now by other people. It's watched when I'm sleeping, when I'm relaxing, when I'm enjoying life. That's the asset, instead of being a poop sock peasant who needs to do the manual labor.
And of course, then they're like, haha, we got you.
But yes, every single POA I met was a weird ass psycho motherfucker. They're always either trying to amog you and to try to troll you, or they try to stab you in the back, or they are thirsty for the women and they're trying to take your girl because they have no abundance. Every single Game Boy POA has been a piece of shit. I met zero, none of them, including Nick Krauser. He is a piece of shit. And James Marshall, he's a piece of shit. All of them. So, yes, Bedouin hypnotist. But yes, I agree with that. I have never met someone who does game who is not a piece of shit and someone I wouldn't want to associate with. Well, you see, in our tribe, we have high quality people who are building their status. Every single person is selected. Every single person is worth it. 90% of the people in the Telegram bought the highest level package because they are willing to invest in themselves and they're not broke losers. I literally banned Mark today because he's a broke loser. On the contrary, is lower. Yes, it lowers status. I noticed that as well. I noticed that there is something called overgaming, which again, often, if you have status, any game will destroy your chances by coming across as weird. So, which is good. It means you don't need any game. It's actually better if you have no game. Not in that sense, but if you don't use any of the game tricks when you are a primal status superior. Once you get known as that guy looking around doing, yes, it's bad. Yes, but it's very bad. Yes. I told Lucario that shit and he hanged out on me immediately. Lucario is a loser. And plus, I don't believe that he does what he does because I pay attention to what he says. He says that, every day he needs to nap at least 4 hours because he's exhausted. And then he live streams twice. He live streams in his channel and often on the channel of that man mindset, which is a lot of time. And then he needs to spend time with his 2 hags that he lives with. How the fuck can he do 25 to 50 approaches every day if he is constantly tired and live? No, it's not possible. I know how exhausting cold approach is, and I know that you are correct, Urban Legend, and Lucario is lying to sell his shit, but he is, again, another thing. Why does Lucario have a diamond watch? Why? Because he's using status and money to get women. He has not using any other thing. Look how they treated their own friends, the OGP. Exactly. Notice how Owen Cook stabbed Mystery in the back, and then Todd Valentine ran away from those, and then Ross Jeffries and his how many partners did he break up with? I mean, the business partners, they're not. Yes, Lucario is a moron. He's an idiot. Again, what Lucario teaches you is what he wants you to keep stuck doing so that you pay him forever. That's not what he does. Lucario is using money and using status. Yes, he's an open marriage. Where is the game? Exactly. Yes, cold approach is tiring, to be honest. It is. And it's not only me saying it, but also understand, as a man, what you do today, it's a mindset that will change your life. Is what you're doing today going to make tomorrow easier, next week easier, next month easier? Cold approach doesn't. It never gets easier. There is a ceiling to your skills, and there's also a ceiling to the beauty of women that you can get. And again, I will explain to you, and this is very, very, very easy. I was in Kiev, Ukraine, and I remember I dedicated myself during a period of time where I was doing 100 approaches all day long. At the time, I was focused on this. I had the money to not need to work and all that. So I did that. And there was this super hottie that I was able to get on a date. And what happened is some random dude who looks like he is Russian or whatever, at the time, it was before the war, came with a Range Rover. And literally, he stopped with the Range Rover and she was looking at him like, Range Rover. And I was next to her, like total disrespect, Range Rover. And then the dude saw her that way and came, and in front of me, she gave him her number, which again, I left, I skedaddled. But then I understood that being the cold approach poop sock peasant who is living, because again, the cold approach people, unless they are selling their coaching to people like James Tusk, for example, I'm very familiar with him, they have no money. How? You will be too tired to have ideas. You will be too tired to work hard in your business. There is nothing. You cannot build your future if you're cold approaching. The only Glitch is if you are someone who can bamboozle the incels into giving you big bucks so that you are cold approaching and getting paid for it. Then you will have some money, and then notice every single one of them is flexing money and flexing success. Like I said, Icy Seducer, which is probably the best gamer I have ever seen, and he spoke about it every single time. And this is also something that Todd V spoke about. He said, I do like every time let's say it in this, every week he buys new fresh clothes in order for him to come across as rich and as successful. Todd V as well speaks about it. If you cold approach and your clothes are not brand new, you won't get much results. And he spoke also about the same thing, Icy Seducer. He took an old phone, and when he does his exchange, whatever, Telegram, Instagram, phone exchange, he gets no results. And then when he is using iPhone Pro Max, he gets a lot more responses from women. So instead of being the cold approach pop sock peasant, be the real deal. Actually, I will play to you a video that, yes, that's impossible. Anyway, I see a lot of comments, but that reminds me of this video, which again, I am someone that I actually enjoyed cold approach. It was fun to me. I have a lot of memories, a lot of experiences, but I refuse to do the thing that doesn't work just because it's fun. And no, fuck all of that. I prefer to do what really works to get you super hotties, and I have seen zero men that did not use status and wealth that get the really beautiful women. And it reminds me of this dude who is anti-cold approach. I don't agree with everything he says, but 90% is good enough.
A lot of hate for this video. I know I'm gonna get a lot of backlash for this video, but in my opinion, I believe that cold approaching is for broke men. I'm sorry. I believe cold approaching is for a group of men who have absolutely nothing going on for themselves. And before y'all go on y'all little rant, cold approaching is not the same as having a hot or warm lead.
The hottest lead is the woman that's already enamored with your philosophy, with your be merry, and with your tribe. She sees you as the only God, the same way that women are in love with their university professor. Why? Is it because he's sexy? No, he's a loser, but because in that room, he is the highest primal status superior, and we create that new universe where you are her God.
When you signs to come up and talk to her, she's giving you the flirty eyes, she's giving you the flirty signals. That is not.
I did all of that, both cold, a lot. I would say 99% was pure cold, and some of it based on signals. But those women that give you signals often are not the quality you want.
Cold approach. She's giving you.
Again, remember, the hottest women are almost never single. And so she needs to swing monkey branch from you or from her previous guy to someone better, not to a random cold approach poop song.
She's giving you those signals. That's a warm lead. That's a hot lead. That's not cold approaching. Cold approaching is just approaching a random woman who is not showing you any kind of signs that she wants you to come up to her and approach and talk to her. That is cold approaching. And listen, gentlemen, times have changed. Everything is on social media now. Everything is on the dating sites now. Everything is on this right here, this phone. This is.
Yes, but we use it differently. We use the algorithm to connect with those Bedouin God. They're all losers. Not one of them is a decent, cool guy. Zero. From Ross Jeffries to Mystery to Owen, they're pieces of shit. I have real confirmed details about Owen Cook, that when he had his full team before entering his free tour, he will literally speak to his people and say, yo, look at these idiots. They think they're coming here to save themselves, but they're not willing to take action. So let's go just take their money. He literally had no respect for nobody. That's why POA's son has said, and they're beating a dead horse. Suave is tiring, but also pointless. Yes, very tiring though. If you're doing it properly, though, by the end, like within a couple of hours, you're sweating like a little piggy and you need to rest and you cannot do much. Again, we build assets that will serve you forever. Building a tribe filled with superfans that will build for you is how you can relax. If not, it's not worth it. Again, you will look back 5 years, 10 years from now and realize you did not build an asset and you need to start from scratch, but it was far too late. It was tiring, but actually improved your life. Okay, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Literally, there is a video of Owen Cook where he said, if you cold approach without making money in the process, you're wasting your time.
Attention to. They're paying attention to the men who have status. They're paying attention to the men who have clout.
Exactly. Status, power, all of it. Like I said, Scarface was correct. They gave him an unhappy ending. And remember, he did not choose the woman that was in love with his brain. He was forcing her to become his woman. So, of course, she stabbed him in the back. The Bedouin God, how many people that you know met their best friend or business partner by striking up conversation with strangers, the street or coffee shop? It reminds me of the stupid shit where Owen, he's like, I'm waiting for an Uber, which is a low status behavior, and then I close $8,000 to $10,000 in 4 minutes. He is lying so much. It's only so. The only women who respond to it are desperate or crazy. You'll wind up with the bunny boiler types are as the few and far between the 1,000 women who ignore you. Exactly. Plus, notice why for the last 25 years, Mystery and Owen Cook and all those lived in the Hollywood Hills, and then they refuse to live in any normal place. They're always living somewhere in an estate in Hollywood Hills, in an expensive mansion, because that is what works. Him trying to tell you that the game is what works and high vibe doesn't work. So basically that you're saying is that money, wealth is the most important component of status. No. No, building a new religion is the most important component of status. And I said money and wealth are results of that. So again, I said it. Suave, I know who you are. You changed your name and now you're coming here. Ask me privately in a mentorship session, because that's not what I said and you're twisting it. Each approach just crashes you in front of yourself. Yes, because you know it's a loser activity. Kings don't walk around begging. Straight up, even in the London day game model, they have this idea called approach lethargy, which is when you get rejected so many times that your body refuses to go and approach anymore. Yes, that's facts. When I had nothing going for myself, I had all the time in the world to cold approach. Yes, we're too busy winning, too busy doing great things. Who's this black guy name? Never seen him before. I said the after pill. So as they say, if something seems too good to be true, probably it is. Exactly. The lies of the POAs are absolutely bullshit. After all that sunken cost in POA, it may seem one day I finally arrived. You never will. This is your gorgeous girl likes me and is pursuing me. But then she'll turn out to be a literal mental patient who is already looking for the next victim. Yes, Suave is one of those guys who just doesn't want to understand. I agree, because I'm literally saying the truth, and he keeps on saying, you notice when he says, so basically what you're saying is no. And anytime someone says this, they are reframing what you're saying. That is not what I said. I said primal status is uber alles, and it is what brings you money based on how many primal status points you have. And it is what brings you hotties. And it is what brings you success and fame and everything. Suave, you keep asking, oh, so it's money or fame? Exactly. Did you notice? He keeps on repeating that. And I believe he's that Latino dude who asks the same question. Do you remember that guy who's like, yo, I can get famous really easily? That's him. Is under a different name. Nobody said that. You don't want to understand. Exactly. I'm saying things clearly. I am saying things clearly. Primal status is what we focus on, and the rest of the things are symptoms or indirect results.
Find out what men have all the money. That's what they're paying attention to. And they can't, most women cannot see if you're that guy when you cold approach. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you're driving most of the times. They don't know.
I agree. And we speak about it. Men are success objects, and success is not necessarily cash, but you being the king that was promised is what matters more than anything.
You know, the spots, you know, they don't know what groups you hang out in. They don't know what's going on with you. When they're looking at your social media, when they're looking at, you know, all across the board, your pages, even your LinkedIn, they can properly see who this man is.
I agree. And who this man is the perception that we control. And then you build it on purpose rather than relying on luck.
Long time of trying to get me to release the actual document.
The dude is still trying to speak about his biggest shameful experience and justifying it. Let's check out a little bit more the after pill.
Those are cold approaching. Do you think?
Exactly. CEOs are cold approaching. And even a funnier thing, for those that know, what was his name? One second. I will find his name, but that was very, very funny. I will
about to do that because that would go against, that would be a HIPAA violation. And I didn't want to get anyone in trouble for actually broadcasting this or showing this off, right? Which of course is what they wanted me to do, because Destiny during that time was saying, "I'll give you $10,000 if you can prove this, right? If you put this, make this public, right?" And I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Why would you go?
Okay. This I found his name, Steve Jobba. Steve Jobba in his prime, he was a tall, handsome, game fanatic dude who did all the game shit that was even studied by the London day game model as someone who knew how to get women. Yet he spoke about it in London. He said it himself. Boris Johnson would get hotter women that he would get. That Boris Johnson in London, because of his status and because of his family name and because of his wealth, would get women that are way out of the league of a tall, handsome, super game dude. Yes, I will send the email. Send email. No worries. Thank you. And also show you Steve Jobba so that you will recognize that this dude admitted it. He said Boris Johnson with his bullshit thing that, one second, you've seen him till today, would get in London super hotties that other men cannot get. So I'll be back with the video soon.
Well, the reason is they really wanted me to like overstep. And I didn't do it. And I was waiting him out. And then until they finally decided, hey, you know, he's never going to do this, so let's rat him out right now. And that was right around July of 2023. That's when all bullshit with Brittany Venti went down, you know, trying to find some way to incriminate me for wanting to get nudes of her when she was like 17 or under. Right. Now, of course, she failed to mention that I turned her down for those when she was trying to impersonate herself, basically. And decided not to put that part of the details in her video. And basically all of these Twitch kids were doing their damnedest to take down Rollo and to, in some ways, even get me hit on.
So again, this is absolutely the truth. And again, Suave, we have two excellent examples of these things. We have someone who created his own tribe of women, someone who created in Australia a tribe of models based on primal status that are in love with him. And we have also someone who's doing it in the USA and Argentina. So we do not need to guess it is, and I did it as well. So all that game bullshit is bullshit for real. Again, CEOs don't call that
Freaking serial entrepreneurs, successful businessmen are cold approaching? What? Do you think athletes, and the list can go on, men with reputation, do you think these guys are cold approaching? No. First and foremost, they know it costs to be the boss. So when you see all those...
Anyway, remember, it's important to be a powerful man rather than a slick-tongued poop sock peasant, because that doesn't matter.
Or criminal violations, right? Now, I'm happy to say that never came to pass. I got more integrity than that, but this is the extent to which these sons of bitches will go to win. And I mentioned this in the video that I did the breakdown video of when all this was going down, probably late July of 2023. And I made my damnedest effort to say, hey, look, you know, this is what was going down. And of course they want to, you know, they're going to paint it any way that they want to. And all of their bots and all of their kids are going to fucking just say whatever they're going to say. Well, I win, and I win today, because now we have Brittany Simon coming out here essentially confirming every fucking thing that I was alleging during that time. Now,
doesn't matter. Again, he is too stuck in his problems. Remember the recency bias. This is your freedom. People only remember the recent version of yourself. So if you are operating as a king, no matter how much you were a poop sock in the past, you will be treated as a king. But keeping the people aware of your past mistakes does not help that. This is him trying to be someone who justifies himself because he feels hurt rather than having the warrior armor.
You have to remember, I'm gonna point some things out here. I made mention that there was an affair between Destiny and Lauren Southern. I think it was Chud Logic who was the first guy that actually made was sort of semi-confirming this, saying, you know, it's the worst kept secret in whatever their fucking sphere is, right? The Twitch kid, the former Twitch kid sphere. And I also had it on very good authority from Lauren Southern's ex-husband that there was an affair between Destiny and Lauren Southern, and that a child was produced as a result of this. And it got to the point where his name was Aaron. I'm not going to give you his last name, but I had a very long discourse or correspondence with him from as far back as like December of 2022, all the way up until about June-ish of 2023. And I still have all of my correspondence, which I'm going to go into today and show you my correspondence from as far back as let's see, June 11th, 2023, and it goes even further than that. I think I started it. At least this thread was started in February of 2023. And so I'm going to get into that, but I want to sort of give you sort of the preamble here and just sort of give you like the build up here so you know what I'm talking about when Brittany Simon here decided to essentially throw Destiny under the bus. And I guess she's very good friends with
And
Destiny.
even more, I spoke about this before, since we want full completion for those who are watching, to show you that power is the greatest aphrodisiac. There was a French prime minister called Edouard Balladur, which is this guy that you can see right here. Do you see him? This is him in that time when he was the French prime minister. And he was dating a French supermodel that was very rich because she was a supermodel. And she was the most beautiful woman in France. So do you see this dude? And she was asked on a TV show, like, why are you dating such an ugly guy? She said, when he penetrates me, I feel the power of the French state inside me. Why? Because power is the greatest aphrodisiac. Second, I'll show you Steve Jobs, which is a dude that was at the time supposed to be one of the best at game, and well, he doesn't get very, very attractive women. He gets average women, and he spoke about how, like I said, someone that would be higher status than him, because he's not high status in the UK, will get the hottest, but for him, it's a forbidden fruit, and that's that.
Are you in a hell of a rush?
Not in a huge rush, but I haven't got long.
Right, okay.
Work today, you see.
Sorry?
I'm just working today, you see.
Again, that's what day game gets you at best. This is like your best option. And this dude, when he was asked, he said Boris Johnson can get the super hotties because of his status, but this dude cannot.
Nichols.
Yeah.
Again, this is supposed to be a super Chad. Do you see her? Like, with all respect, she's not a supermodel, and that's what day game Pope Sock Peasants get you, but Primal Status gets you the choice of the top of the...
So you're going to Central?
I'm just going to go to the cash point.
Yeah. You're not allowed to do that?
I am. Oh, I am, yeah.
I'm not going to allow you. I'm going to wrestle you to the ground.
Notice how his game is immaculate, but doesn't matter. It doesn't work on super hotties. They need power. And that's why Boris Johnson, with his boring talk, but his primal status, gets them all. So watch it. Isn't this good game? It's excellent. He was studied by the London day game PUAs to learn his skills. But again, he spoke about it. Super hotties do not respect the fact he doesn't have the correct accent and the correct background to have high status.
It's too late. The damage is done now. I'm just going to go replenish the notes now.
Now, is that somebody else's money or your money?
This is mine.
So you're not married?
No.
Me neither.
Aren't you?
No.
No, I'm telling the truth. Oh, that looks like I'm telling a lie, but I'm not. Promise.
You're not? Okay.
No.
Well, I'm Steve. What's your name?
Sophie.
Sophie.
Yeah.
You're very
Again, I'll show you back. This dude dated, at the time, one of the richest and the most beautiful woman in France. And look at him. Do you see him? Where is the Giga Chad? But yes, if you want to define it that way, power is the greatest aphrodisiac. But then remember, the definitions of power are different. The power of having your tribe that has your back, of not being alone in this world, but having your own group of people and own resources and own control in this world, rather than being subjugated to some governments or entities. We are the real new world order. If that is your definition, then yes. Power is the way that you see in the real world primal status magnified. Without, like, if your primal status doesn't have power, it's not the real deal.
Where are you from?
I can't believe you said that. Thank you. Thank you.
Where are you from?
I'm from North Yorkshire.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Midlands.
By the way, Suave Day Game. This is a day game, and this is Suave, and you don't get super hotties with it. I know what I'm talking about, and this is a real example. He's put in it on YouTube in order to show you what he can get, which means this is the best that he can do, even with all his game. Listen, it's very good game, but the results are
Sorry?
I'm just working today, you see.
At Harvey Nichols?
Yeah.
So you're going to Central?
I'm just going to go to the cash point.
Yeah. You're not allowed to do that?
I am. Oh, I am, yeah.
I'm not going to allow you.
You are.
I'm going to wrestle you to the ground.
No, it's too late. The damage is done now. I'm just going to replenish the notes now.
Now, is that somebody else's money or your money?
This is mine.
So you're not married?
No.
Me neither.
Aren't you?
No.
No, I'm telling the truth. Oh, that looks like I'm telling a lie, but I'm not. Promise.
You're not? Okay.
No.
Well, I'm Steve. What's your name?
Sophie.
Sophie.
Yeah,
You're very nice. You've got nice eyes and nice hair. And where are you from?
I can't believe you said that. Thank you. Thank you.
Where are you from?
I'm from North Yorkshire.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Midlands.
Oh.
I'm just trying to work out what kind of vibe you've got. Irish.
My dad was quarter Scots, quarter Irish. He's quarter.
So again, this dude, and he was open with it. He has in fields where he does excellent game with beautiful, beautiful hotties, but it doesn't go anywhere because again, he spoke about it. Yes, is getting old now, but this is him in his prime. This is not when he was old. Do you remember this? Is this when he's old? He's not. This is in his prime, and that's why I'm choosing this on purpose.
And you live around here, right?
Yes, that video is 10 years old, which proves my point even more. Like, what's wrong with that? Because if I showed it now, you'll say, but he is 45 now, he's too old, that's why he cannot get hotties. I'm showing you him in his prime, and he cannot get super hotties. So again, it's exactly on purpose. I could have shown you a video that is recent, but then everybody will be like, oh, he is almost 50. Of course, it's not. No, I want to show you that him in the prime of his game cannot get any super hotties at all. And he spoke about it. He literally was asked about it. And he said it doesn't go anywhere unless he goes somewhere where he has status. Like if he goes to Eastern Europe as a British guy, he gets hotter women. But in the UK, Boris Johnson, again, you know how he looks like, gets super hotties. This is good game. This is him in his prime, and he cannot do much. Day game is for losers.
Yeah. You're not with anyone?
With my dogs.
That doesn't count then. Unless you have sex. No. Okay. Some women do, right? You know? There's videos about that.
You like YouTube, do you?
I have seen such things inadvertently when I get the spam emails come through, and I
So for those who really want to know how success with hot women happens, how real money is made, click this free link right now. Go through the 5 minutes evaluation to receive your unique profile in Primal Status Elevation, your strengths and your opportunities. And make sure to find the other email, because you'll receive 2, to begin your 10 days of free trainings that explain to you the rules of winning in this new lizard brain economy and how the world has changed. So this is how we win. And again, it is Jabba old now. I'm showing you him when he wasn't. Plus, I have met men who are very old, who are dating super bombshells. I am in Dubai after all, and I see it. And even more, I see it worse, that all the handsome young men in Dubai are selling their pussy to older guys for money. I do not see any Chads winning. I see them being male prostitutes because the looks do not give them money, so they need to do something with it. And I do not see anybody winning because of their game or any of that bullshit.
Melina. And so now I guess nobody cares anymore because probably because the money from Progressive Victory is drying up very quickly and nobody has any reason not to sell this guy out. So the fucking wolves are circling, man. There's blood in the water and the sharks are getting ready. And here it is. And I have to point shit out like this because if I don't point shit out like this, it happens again. And so people keep saying, oh, well,
this is him trying to justify and understand this gossip is what magnifies the lizard brain to keep paying attention, because you can bring fresh new gossip, never boring people, but we do it in a more sophisticated way. He's very basic.
Rollo is a conspiracy theorist, and yet here we are. And I mean, even some of my best friends will say, well, Rollo sounds kind of conspiratorial sometimes. Until I show them
he's doing it on purpose. Very important to add conspiracy theory elements to your brainwashing.
My annual report from diverting hate and the DHS watch list and the terrorist watch list and ASU and the McCain Institute, and I give them basically the receipts right here, and then suddenly, okay, maybe there's some merit to this. Well, thank you. Like, can you at least give me the benefit of the fucking doubt? No one wants to give me the benefit of the doubt. That's why I have to go back and do this again. And if I don't do this again, and if I don't go and clear this up, then people are just going to think it's going to be some fucking asterisk next to my name. So fuck off. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do this because Brittany Simon is essentially confirming everything that I was alleging back in, was it April or May of 2023. And the reason I did was, like I said, was because Aaron, her former husband, who was fighting for custody for their child at this time and was reaching out to me and other people at the same time, apparently reaching out to Destiny too, I don't know. But essentially trying to find some way so that he could get custody of his child. And I'll give you the details of that here when I get into our correspondence. But I wanted to point this out because
repeating the same shit, but now trying to position himself as a saint who is helping children return to their father, when reality is all mumbo jumbo. He is not doing anything except talking about it as if he cares. Again, if he shows up and he's like, return the children to their father, did he do anything? He just talked, but people think he's such a protector.
Is the smoke
very important to be a protector? Is one of the hugest reasons why you become the leader of your tribe. If you are not protecting your tribe and being a coward, you will not succeed.
Gun I was waiting for about a year ago, and no one was forthcoming. And I will tell you this, I'm fairly certain that people like Brittany Simon knew the bullshit that I was going through at the fucking hands of these fuckers. And so as much as I'm appreciative that she's decided to finally come out with this, you also knew about this and you also knew what was going on. And so, the day late and a buck short, okay, I'll take it. But when she gets on her high horse and starts pontificating here and starts to take some sort of moral high ground, just remember that she had to have been aware of what was going on in the summer of 2023 because she knows what kind of character this guy is. So I'm going to bring this up. And also, by the way, Abba and Preach also involved in this. Very good friends with Destiny. Also knew this shit was going on. Brittany Venti also.
Remember, you are judged by the power of your enemies. So he is stacking all those people, making them seem like enemies. Primal building a tribe seems like a lot of work. Will just being a rich guy enough to give me the power to get the high-level hotties you're referring to? Indirectly, yes. Remember that some people, many rich guys, hire promoters to go out there and create the parties for them and bring them to that, to bring the hotties to the party. So, yes, but what do you mean? Again, if you're saying building a tribe seems like a lot of work, day game is a lot more work. Do you know what I mean? Plus, if you are saying just being a rich guy, are you already rich? If then, yes, there are levels that are allowing you and will allow you to be able to get the hotties and build that using primal status by having minions that do the hard work and you pay them for it. But if you're not rich yet, the best way to get rich is to build a tribe. So why should you separate the goals? You will hit 48 birds with one stone. But at the same time, again, first, are you already rich? If you are already rich, then yes, there are shortcuts to winning, and they will build your tribe for you by you existing. Again, it's not that you need to do the tribe work. It is that you can have people that do the work for you, because you can leapfrog to the turning point where your super fans or the people that you teach in the beginning will be doing all of the work. Remember what? Many people, I was gonna cite Epstein, but Epstein had women that will go and that will talk about him to the other women, that will invite them to massages or whatever the fuck. I know that's sick and twisted, but deep down, the ability to have women that are there in order for them to spread your primal status to other women gets you a lot of the results, but that's not something that you do and get for free if you're not building your Be Merry.
Going on, Lauren Southern, who, by the way, is the political, ideological polar opposite of Destiny. And this is gonna, like, when you see the simping, the level of simping that Destiny applies to Lauren Southern, you'll understand why I say.
Again, remember my royal friend, he did not need to do all the work to build a tribe. But again, how many people in the world are like that? Very few. Those people can get shortcuts, but I'm not speaking to someone who's already started from there. And again, why do you think anything is a lot of work? Unless you're already rich or you already have that, then all the life of men is to work to get what you want. So there is no such thing as a man's life if you're starting from zero without a lot of work.
I'm going to push this in here real quick, and I'm going to cue this up to the sort of the.
Plus, remember, it only seems like a lot of work if you did not yet clarify your life purpose, because creating your life purpose will always feel effortless.
There's a whole buildup where she talks about him, being a quote unquote grape apologist. You can go and check that out. I put the link in at the very beginning of the chat. I'll put it in again so you can get an idea. So I'm just going to riff on this just a little bit with Brittany Simon, and I want you guys to sort of pay attention.
Okay, how rich is rich in your opinion? I'll give you three. Three actually opinions. Derek Moneyberg, according to him, $5 million is rich. And Ty Lopez, $5 million is rich. But me, I have seen men in Dubai that got some of the hottest women, and they make $200,000 per year, but they're able to spend it in a way that made them seem like they are worth $10-20 million. So in my experience, practically, the possibility to spend straight up $200,000 per year to spend it without worrying is enough to come across to any woman as very rich, but then the other people, because they want to live off the investments, they say or they recommend you have assets worth $5 million and then live off of the dividends and the revenues. So I did spend a lot of time calculating that because I wanted to make sure $100,000 in Dubai in particular is nothing. You can't do much, but from 200,000 plus and higher. And that's like, again, if you tell women that they will think you're poor. But if you spend it properly, 200,000 or more will make you come across. You cannot, there is zero thing that you cannot afford unless you want to be one of those guys that go to the, to the expensive nightclubs and they spend $100,000 for a night of buying the whole bar, champagne and shit. Then no, but for you to get any woman to feel that the lifestyle is worth it, $200,000 of spendable money per year is excellent.
It's here because they're all corroborated with what I was saying back in the day. Now,
again, I do not also believe in some things. There are places, for example, in Manhattan, where you need to spend $20 million in order to buy an apartment. I understand that, but also renting allows you to do much, much more. I have seen, for example, and I believe that Wes Watson is renting his mansion for $65,000 per month. So again, that's that. And then I believe that Walter Weeks is basically leasing the cars. So he spends around 5 to 10 grand per month, and then he will sell them and then replace them so that he's always making money, never losing money. So 200 grand in order for you to be able to afford creating parties, events, buying new shit. It's not that much. So yes. Okay, why do I say it's spendable money in that way? Because I assume that you're gonna get a baller apartment, like I am living next to the beach right now. So if you are going to include everything, then you make 200K per year. But if you are someone who needs to pay like some debt and needs to like pay to buy some assets, I don't know what are your things, but if you dedicate 200K to your apartment, clothes, enjoying life, meeting women, lifestyle, that's what you need. So why did I say spendable? Notice, I like that you notice the difference in words. For me, because I don't have debt and I don't believe in having things like that, all I need is to make at least 200K per year or more in order for you to come across as a big baller. I have seen a lot of people who are able to do that in Dubai, and they are driving in like Rolls Royces and all kinds of things like that. And they are living well at 200K, coming across as you think that they're billionaires when they're not. But if you have extra spendings, I don't know what your life is, then in addition to that spendings, you need 200K. So if you have no debt, you're not going to spend that money in buying some assets or whatever the fuck it is, then 200K per year that you make will give you, and including, it's corroborated by, what's the guy? I'll check his name and I will tell you. But that there is the other guy as well that I did a live stream about, who spoke about that the men who make more than 200K do not need dating coaching anymore. So again, 1 second, I will tell you the name of that guy. It's Adam Lyons. So Adam Lyons, I did a live stream breaking down his interview with Max Torno, and he said his clients should be men that make around 100K per year, because men who make 200K or more, they do not have trouble with dating, so he cannot help them that much. But yes, this is the minimum. Doesn't mean that we don't want more. Doesn't mean that we don't have limitless ambition. But making 200K per year will give you exactly the lifestyle that nobody else can compete with for real. If you want to rent a mega yacht and go on a weekend there, you can. I mean, it's not as expensive as you think at all.
At least what sort of drew me into this whole fucked up drama was the fact that Lauren Southern was trying to still.
So again, if you want to stop working, you need to be have assets worth $5 million. If you are okay with income and with generating income using what you speak about, easy 200K per year will afford you. There is nobody that can live a life better than you because you can rent it all and live it that way. Yeah, dude, I spent a lot of time going deep into all of this. I know exactly where the 200K will go and all that.
Nasty divorce and this really nasty child settlement. She was already divorced, but she's still wearing her fucking wedding ring on Tim Pool's show.
So for 200K, you will live in a penthouse and you will be driving a 4x4 Rolls Royce, basically, and you will have 120K to spend on Gucci, Armani parties, on going to the best restaurants and all that. And then the end of the next month, you move on to the next thing. There is nobody that will have a lifestyle better than you. But remember, it's precarious. What does it mean? If you are relying only on income and you did not build the asset of your tribe, you might not make it 1 year or so. But the beautiful thing about it is, well, if the basics of your lifestyle are less than 100K, it means you can stay a couple of months just enjoying the basics and then go back. It's very adaptable.
Had told me that really kind of bothered him.
But most people are like that. I notice most people in Dubai are not millionaires, although they pretend to be. They have that 150 to 100K income and then per year, and then they spend it all and they live absolutely like kings.
8 months and she's still wearing her ring as if she is in some way still married to this guy. She goes on trigonometry and tries to tell her side of the story, and these guys are just sitting there like fucking bumps on a log believing every fucking word of it. Kristen Constantopoulos or whatever the fuck your name is. See, this is why you have to fucking hold these people's feet to the fire. Especially this. When we get through this, you'll understand just how fucking hypocritical those fuckwits on trigonometry really are. They will pretty little fucking Lawrence.
The problem is he's acting like a victim. He should connect the enemies to how they're harming his audience so that he comes across as a protector. If not, he seems like hurt and is complaining about those that hurt him. Always frame it that you're defending the tribe. So he needs to connect how the tribe is harmed by trigonomics or whatever and those people.
Southern will sit there right in.
So again, how far are you from 200K? If you're already there, then speak to me as well in the mentorship, because then we can speak about the more advanced tactics and ways for you to live that life in a way that matches your abilities.
Cry of bloody river, and they don't know that they're getting played just like Destiny got played, and just like a lot of other people have been played by this bitch. So. Well, I disagree with you. Rollo, it doesn't matter anymore. You sparked the match, and you and Andrew were pivotal in exposing right-wing women's grift. Yeah, well, and we still will be, and we still are. But I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna twist the knife today, because it deserves to be done. Okay, it really does. And I know, oh, that's so petty, Rollo. Yes, I am.
Destiny.
Internet communities, especially online ones that do like political debate and video games, are very much like big boys clubs. So it's not enough to just say you can't be misogynistic. Always going to be an othering effect on women.
There's a lot of stuff that you're saying that is a part of misogyny. It's almost like obvious. Like any woman would tell you that.
A woman will, yeah, but they're not in these spaces, and a lot of the guys just don't know. Yeah.
I think what that requires is just empathy.
If you do not know who he is, it's okay. I will tell you.
No drama, but Brittany talks about you in regards to relationship advice starting here until at least 8 minutes later. Don't get upset. Oh no.
I'm open to criticizing all of my friends for their choices, but then look, Abbott tried to come to Steven and say your hedonistic lifestyle isn't working, and Destiny got not only like offended and defensive, but literally was not open to the conversation.
By the way, nobody should tell you how to live as a king. If you want to live a hedonistic lifestyle or a monk lifestyle, both are valid. If someone else tells you and you follow them, you are no longer a king. So in this case, she's attacking Destiny for not following the advice of Abba. It's simple. Say this, what we have around here, which is...
Your king moves of his own accord.
You just move different.
Bro, I don't talk about anything all the time ever. Are we serious?
No, I just brought up Rollo.
Yeah, you just brought up Rollo. So then the question stands, did you f*** Lauren Southern? Hey, you brought it up.
I feel like I have more conversations about my lifestyle than literally any other person on the internet.
Destiny is a content creator here on YouTube who has made the rounds as a combative debate bro and somebody who's involved in politics. For the Democrat,
debating other men and winning shows dominance. It's similar to MMA. It increases your primal status by seeming to be stronger than other men.
and the liberal side.
I don't think you know what America.
He's much more involved than just that. Destiny was a paid political operative.
Again, creating this warrior web about him in order to make people hate him increases the power of your enemies so that people get scared and want to live with you, protecting them.
Progressive victory. And as far as I know, probably still is. I'm not sure about, although maybe like I said, the money's probably dried up now that the election is over and they failed. All that effort, all that energy, all that bullshit, everything you got, everything, all the stuff, all that application, everything for nothing. Poof, like a fart in the fucking wind, man. All gone. So I'm gonna cue this up a little bit further, but I just wanted to point out that it's not just, oh, he's a political guy. No, it's more than that. This guy is literally doing the bidding and was bought and paid for, like many of the other quote unquote influencers for progressive victory. They have admitted to this. There is a documentary on it basically describing how in the summer of 2022, they started buying influencers. Literally, those are the words, buying.
Yes, and we should too. Do not shy away from that. Once you build enough money and you want influencers to give you their audience, buy them and make them speak about you. Like, watch my breakdown of Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX. It's very funny. I spoke about how that guy actually did the correct thing. He just ran out of time where the Bitcoin went too low too soon before his expectation. But he was building something that will make him survive. Today, when we know that Donald Trump is creating a Tsar position for someone to be in control of the whole AI sphere as well as the crypto industry in the US, he would have saved FTX, and that would have been his dream come true, Sam Bankman-Fried.
Destiny being one of them.
Watch that. He bought so many influencers, Sam Bankman-Fried. He literally paid, I believe, $200,000 to have a Washington Post article about him saying how amazing he is.
Because he had a big, huge platform back then. And
that's a beautiful thing. Do not shy away from paying for the media to say glorious things about you. In the past, kings used to pay poets in order to write epic poetry about them. In the same way, you have influencers that are sucking up to you. You've seen it recently. Derek Moneyberg, when he paid the Hodge twins to be on their podcast, and they were sucking up to him hard and agreeing with him with everything. That's because he paid the cost to be the boss.
Nobody even knew who the fuck this guy was outside of like his Twitch community, his gaming, playing fucking League of Legends or whatever the fuck he was playing, right? Nobody fucking knew who this guy was. Now suddenly he arrives on the scene right around the beginning of 2023, primarily because he's fat with cash from fucking progressive victory. Same thing with Jasmine Jafar. Same thing with who has admitted to this. Farrah admitted to this. Pixie admitted to this. Not So Erudite also on the fucking payroll. All of these kids are on the fucking payroll. All of them are sock puppets. I've already said this before. If you're taking money, I don't care if you agree with the message, you are a fucking sock puppet. The fact that you would do that says everything about your character and everything about your integrity. So let's call a spade here. Let's just call this like it is. These guys were paid to be sock puppets for the fucking for progressive victory, for a political action committee. Again, do I know if they're making money off this still to this?
This is funny because, again, the liberals lost, the Democrats lost. So now he's still harping on them. Soon people will tell him, well, you and your guys won. What are you going to do about it? This is one of the issues. All of these Manosphere and Pope Socks, their only skill is at being victims and underdogs. They don't have the skill of winning or of doing things when they're winners. So they end up always and forever reverting to being the victim instead of doing something to change the world.
No, but I do know that they were all purchased. And they're not the only ones. Okay. The odds are that Lauren Chen and some of the other people from Tenet Media were also purchased by the Russian government to the tune of about $10 million, allegedly. We're still under investigation. The indictments are out and the names have been called, including Lauren Southern. So I've always wondered, like, where are these guys getting their money? Like, how do these? It can't just be YouTube. It can't just be whatever. Like, do they have merch? do they have something? Do they have a book? Do they have something that they're doing? Like. And then I kept wondering, how do guys like this get on like Piers Morgan? How do they get multiple fucking interviews on like Chris Williamson? This is how, because there's
more being butthurt. Who doesn't get on Piers Morgan? It seems everybody and their mommy is there, but it is because Rollo the Trollo is constantly complaining that nobody invites him to any debates, that he never gets on Piers Morgan, and that's what he's trying to do. Notice how he's me. Focus on himself. This dude doesn't deserve the platform. It's your turn to be the big king and to change the world.
Money exchanges hands. And people say, well, that's not how it's done with no, that's exactly how it's done with podcasts. That is exactly how it's done. I know how much, I'm not going to name names, but I know how much certain podcasts charge to be on their show. And Access Vegas is 0. Maybe we should start charging people to be on the show. But they're like big name podcasts. You can buy your way onto those podcasts. Trust me.
Yes, I agree. And I believe that. And I know for a fact, for example, Ty Lopez, to go on his podcast, you pay $30,000. He's not shy about it. There are podcasts that are $10,000, others $50,000. It goes and varies based on the audience.
So anyways, I'm going to fast forward a little bit here and get us to, I think that's probably about right. Let's do that.
Saw him. First and foremost, there was an affair, and this affair was messy. When he confided in me,
he treats me. It's unbelievable. I'm giving you your phone number to like Adam 22 so you can go to a show. What the f would you like burn my shit so hard? Like, you're so.
I have more respect for him than any other individual.
So now I'm going to explain exactly what I know about Destiny that made me change the way that I saw him. First and foremost, there was an affair, and this affair was messy. When he confided in me about the affair, when his ex-wife confided in me about the affair, when his mutual friends and I discussed it, it was something that was complicated and gray and messy and involved children, a married person, somebody.
I'm sorry, what? It involved children. Okay, let's continue.
With a reputation on the internet.
He's trying to whitewash his past by saying that he was right. Again, it's very stupid to go to a random woman like this, tell her all your secrets, and think that she won't spill the beans. A king keeps on moving and only shares with his highest level super fans, things like that. If not, do not share it with random Pope Sock hoes.
That, well, was pretty bad. It also was the last person I thought it would be, given that Destiny claimed to be such a liberal and a progressive at some points in his life. So for him to have an affair with somebody who was, quote, on enemy sides felt odd, strange, morally bankrupt in some ways.
No, it's putting your dick before your ideology is what it is. That's what simps do.
This is how the story goes, according to what I was told by his ex-wife and him. There was an affair, a long-time affair with a fellow content creator named Lauren Southern.
Whoa, wait a minute. What? Are you kidding me? For real? Lauren Southern, of all people? Who could have ever known? Who would have ever been so bold as to assert that he would be sleeping with the enemy?
Notice what he's doing, trying to take credit and to reframe the past. So how long you been Dubai, Primal? Just curious what makes you choose Dubai. Well, some people ask me and they're like, yo, what's up with Dubai and shit like that? Okay, I'll answer your second question first, which is since the beginning of time, even when I was broke, I was never poor. I saw myself as not living the life that I deserved, and I deserve the best things in this world because you only have one life. So live life at the maximum, live life truly the way you're supposed to be. Second, I am not a citizen of the USA. I am not a citizen of Europe. Nowadays, the USA is very, very much racist to immigrants and Europe as well. So I belong here. I am someone who can live here without needing to be some random foreigner. And this is why I chose Dubai. I chose it because there are a lot of people that have that ambition and energy of creating something for themselves around here. And because I can live here like normally, I do not have the at all the possibility or the desire or the feeling that I should be living in New York City or any of those. So yes, the US is turning into Rome. Yes, in the time of Nero. But yes, you're correct.
There we go. My bad. Oops.
Morally bankrupt in some ways. This is how the story goes, according to what I was told by his ex-wife and him. There was an affair, a long-time affair with a fellow content creator named Lauren Southern.
This stream is hilarious. Well, I'm glad I had a bunch of people earlier. They're like, I am unsubbing. This is disgusting that you're in the presence of a libtard.
But yeah, you see it. Each person is different. John Zerka wants to live in Miami. For me, every single influencer in Miami, I have sent them the middle finger. I'm not interested to be there. And like you've seen, the level of racism and xenophobia in the US and in Europe makes it a very, very bad place to be there as a foreigner or an immigrant. And you don't know my story, but I was a whole year planning and working hard as I started this channel in order for me to be able to afford to go to Dubai. So I shared with everyone my goal. I kept myself on track. And then 1 year ago, I moved to Dubai on a specific date that I set as a deadline, and then it was magnificent. So I built everything in order for me to be able to at least afford the necessities and then build higher from there. And it was a goal because after losing everything in Ukraine, I was an immigrant, and that's not a life that I wanted for myself. So I was a refugee, and then I chose to become a Dubai king. The reason I asked, because you said you used to stay in Ukraine. Yes, Ukraine, Dubai is totally different. Not really, because all the beautiful women of Ukraine and Russia are in Dubai right now. Like some Russian woman said, half of Moscow, every rich person from Moscow is living in Dubai right now, and every beautiful Ukrainian girl is in Dubai, if not in the UK or in Canada. But no, it's not. The only thing that is different is that day gaming in Dubai is very, very, very inconvenient, and the whole city is not made for it. When in Ukraine, it was very, very easy. To me, it's like there is a difference, but in Dubai, it's not. Like, what do you think it is? Dubai is one of the most open-minded, one of the most cool places with some of the most beautiful women in the world. It's absolutely crazy. Like some people say, there is no difference between Dubai and Miami when it comes to the women. So yeah, in terms of women, you're right. So it's beautiful. I can live with high-speed internet. I live next to the beach in the quiet. I can work as much as I want. I can order pre-made food and have people clean my house and everything, which is great. And the women are super crazy beautiful from all over the world. You can go on one date with a woman from Western Europe, next day from Brazil, third day from Ethiopia, and it never ends. It's really great, the mix of level of beauties and the backgrounds that is here. It's very, very international. Plus, like I said, most women in Dubai are looking for a successful rich man, but there are not enough of them although it seems to you like it's the case, but most men in Dubai are poor and they're working hard to create a life for themselves. So there is less competition than places like Miami. No. Yes and no. Yes and no. Anyway, someone asked me about it. It's not. It's because there are so many beautiful women that all the men that you think are competition are not settling. They just, go date a woman for a week and then move on to the next. I have seen crazy women, like crazy beautiful women, who are constantly single because the guys are not settling down. So no, it's like it's good that there is competition because it attracts more and more women to be here. But the percentage is, I will say, that there is 70% very beautiful women, and I will say there is 30% very successful men. So there is not enough men, and so those men are doing the same thing in New York. It is known in New York City, in Manhattan, that there are a lot of model women, but that the men do not settle. They just go on a couple of dates. They have sex a couple of times with very beautiful women and move on. So I used to think that case, but I am absolutely, since I am also living life by living life at the highest tiers, I am dating some of the most beautiful women in there. And I noticed that me too, I'm always thinking, well, what if I tried this other one or this other one? So men have no reason to settle. New York City, Miami, and Dubai have that same thing where most men are not at all, they're living that single life, if you know what I mean. I see, well, I believe now Dubai much better than me. Thank you, yes. Well, also understand, like because of my background, I belong here, I'm supposed to be here. So if you ask me about Los Angeles or about Las Vegas, I wouldn't be able to tell you much, but I used to think that, however, most of the men who you think are competition, the problem is, yes, he might hit it once or twice, and then he will skedaddle. So although there is a lot, like there is competition, but also the men are not settling down. So most women are basically single almost all the time, and that's a great, great thing. So what the good thing about competition is that it attracts higher caliber women. So if there was no competition, there wouldn't be as many beautiful women around. That's the problem, is which again is the same problem of New York, Manhattan. There is a lot more women who are beautiful than there are men who are successful, which creates that desire for men to have variety in their life and to not like most men, they spend the honeymoon phase and then they do not stay longer than that. And it's not new to Dubai. It's the same thing, I believe, in Monaco, Porto Banús, and Manhattan.
And yes, that is destiny. I should.
But yes, again, Suave, if you make less than 100K, you'll be an incel in Dubai. It's not made for that. And for you to live well, 200K per year is a good amount. But if you think that you can, there are places like GVC where you could live on $30,000, $40,000 per year dollars, but you will be living life like a poop sock peasant. I would rather go stay in Thailand than or somewhere else where you can live with that money much more. Thoughts about marriage, Primal? What's your end game, though? Do you see marriage as one of your future options, or do you plan on being bachelor and enjoying life forever? Thank you for that question. This is one of the controversial points that trigger women on my channel and make them rage quit. I do not believe in marriage. This is me personally. It doesn't mean that it should be your case. What happens is, if you as a king, unless you have multiple concubines, commit to one woman, there is absolutely a predictable thing within every woman where she is going to think that you have no other options and get very much disgusted by you. There is the option, we spoke about it before, of designer babies, which is similar to what Cristiano Ronaldo did, where he had a beautiful woman carry his son, and then he paid her for that, and she left, so he didn't need to have the headaches of that relationship, and he had a high genetic quality son for him. So I plan to be a bachelor forever, enjoying life, but then think about it in this different way, which might not be real to you. There is something called enmeshment, where I grew up with a mother that treated me as a replacement to a husband. So in many ways, consider me as someone who grew up with a mother that was treating me as if she's my wife, which means I'm after divorce. Most men, after they divorce once, they do not want to get married again. So I learned my lesson. So I have noticed, and I looked around, there are men in Dubai who are 80 years old, dating very beautiful 20 years old. I have seen all that happening, but I do not consider marriage a future option at all. I only see the negatives of it. There is no positive at all. And if you're thinking about children, get your designer babies. If not, well, unfortunately, it creates a high level of cheating where most men that I know that want to have children through marriage, they just have a wife in order for her to have children and are cheating all the damn time. I remember this UAE guy who said when he's at his home, he's married, but as soon as he leaves the house, he's single. He said that, so there are. So you want children, but you don't want a wife. Yes, I don't want a wife. Even children, it's optional. I wouldn't stress on it just because I look at this world and I notice that this world is very, very, at least in this part and time, is very bad for children. It's not at all appropriate. So I plan to build my own island first, and then a man can get children anytime. But no, again, doesn't mean that I don't love women. I don't enjoy them. They're not delicious. I just say as soon as she becomes a wife, she becomes someone who thinks that you have no options, and a man who shows that he has no options will always end up in a sexless relationship. Let's replay this because it's true. No matter how much of a god and a king you are, if you are going to commit to someone, it means you're giving her your kingdom for no reason, just because society told you you should, and that is bad. Check this out. Yes, I agree with you. I had enough of the experiences with women where they are perfect, amazing when you are like dating and she's still not sure whether she has you. But as soon as she has you, Louis C.K. becomes the guy.
Sex, man. I had no idea that marriage just means no sex. No, none, fucking none. I have friends that are thinking of getting married and they say funny shit like, hey, you know, I don't know if I could do it because I don't know if I could have sex with one woman for the rest of my life. Like, don't worry about that shit.
So that's it. And most men, like I said, in New York City, in Dubai, in Porto Banús, they are dating, but they are not going at all to be married because they have noticed that it is only for women. Only women like the idea of marriage. Men, for real, like the freedom of being a king forever. And you'll never lose women. There is always, like, there are 4 billion women, and the top, like 40 million of them are perfect. They look photoshopped because they're so beautiful. So 40 million women is a lot for you to live through in your life, and we plan to live forever.
Of you, Destiny. This is the laughter. You're wearing a fucking MAGA hat so that you can get with this psychotic bitch.
Oh, yes! Someone just... No, you should talk to him. He's obsessed with Donald Trump and it's disgusting. You really need to talk to him.
No, we're just...
Wait, what does that say?
It says make America great again, okay?
Oh, is this the whole point?
No, he genuinely is like a hardcore Trump supporter. He just said the election was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago, okay? And I'm still...
By the way, confirmed, and I have shown you that live stream where when John Zerka took the beautiful streamer to TwitchCon. She went running after Destiny because to her she was a fan of that guy, and she left Destiny. She left John Zerka with nothing, and he still hates him till today for that. Being a superior primal status guy will always get you more results.
Okay.
Lauren Southern, if you don't know, is quite.
All right. Let's hold on. Hold the horses there. That's if you wanted a, let's see, a textbook example of simping. I don't think I could come up with a better illustration, to be honest with you. Literally compromising your quote unquote, assuming that's even really what he's about. Is he really about that? Is he really about democratic DNC? Is he really about this liberal progressive, agenda?
Let's go. Suave day game. One thing that concerns me with being a MGTOW is about who would care of me in my old age. Has this thought ever crossed your mind? Thank you for that question. I don't consider this to be a MGTOW. I consider this to be a Hugh Hefner lifestyle. But I'll explain to you something. I grew up with a single divorced mother who was absolutely crazy. And often she would do her thing and leave me in my grandparents' house. I have spent most of my time with old men and women, with my grandparents, where my grandfather was in the army. He has multiple Purple Hearts because he participated in the liberation and independence of 2 countries. He's a great, great man, and he has been good to my grandmother forever in the best and worst of times. But then when he turned 70 or so, he got cancer, lung cancer, where he was suffering in bed. And the same woman who was my grandmother, she would get angry, will be like, "You're acting like a baby. What the fuck do I need to take care of you? And why do I need to make you poo and pee and wash you?" And again, something very, very bad happening there, which is, although they spent, let's say, 50 years together, when he needed her in his old age, she did not. She took care of him for a week or 2, but when it was longer, she was complaining. She was saying that she cannot go out because she needs to stay caring of him. She was complaining about needing to wash him and to give him medicine. And she was mistreating him, yelling at him, treating him like a nuisance forever. And although they were married, that's a worse fate than you hiring and paying for some medical staff and nurses to take care of you. So to me, that's a myth. You might think that's a unique circumstance. I would say no. Women are emotional, and when they see you being sick and they are healthy, they will absolutely feel disgusted because they feel they're associated with a loser. I prefer to pay with my own money for people to be happy and eager to take care of me in my old age, because I noticed it. First, also, when he was after in the hospital dying, unfortunately, it was bad. He was one of the greatest men I knew, and he spent a whole week drowning in his own mucus, in his, so a whole week drowning till he died is a horrible death. Every one of his children was busy working. They did not spend much time with him. He died alone with nobody there. And my grandmother was, when he died, visiting some relatives just for her to relax from needing to take care of him. So it's a myth. There is the myth that you're going to be an old man who's going to suffer. To me, I notice married men actually suffer more when they become weak next to the wife and the woman that is mistreating them anyway in their sexless marriage. Why would they expect her to be grateful if she hated the guy for a long, long time? Why would they expect her to take care of him? And children, I notice, they will always be focusing on their lives. They're not focused on you. So I had, and I observed the real life experience of my grandfather. Every one of his children, maybe the first day or 2, they came and hanged around, but then they needed to go to work, to study, to blah, blah, blah. And her, she didn't give a fuck. A weak man is unattractive to women. So I actually am happy that I can pay to the cost to be a boss, because those nurses will be happy to receive good money to take care of me instead of someone who is doing it for free. And so they're like, what the fuck? Again, I notice wherever I go, I try to pay more than anything. Whenever there is option, I choose the premium, the highest option, and the way that people treat me will always be superlative. Anytime you try to get something for free, you get treated like Mark, like a little poop sock peasant. Nice story, brother. Sorry to hear about your grandpa. Pleasant for you. It must be hard for you to share a deep childhood story like that. Yes, to me, he was the father figure, and I remember it because it's a nice life story. When someone says, oh, I need someone to take care of me when I'm old, I notice the people that pay for it will always have much better results than people who think that their family is going to take care of them for free. Even today, I don't know whether it's your circumstance, but if someone is a failure for too long and they stay in their mommy's basement, their parents will keep on yelling at them, bullshitting them, and keep on being angry at them. There is no such thing as a man receiving anything for free, in the sense that you need to absolutely be blessing people more than you are receiving from them. A man has abundance. So if you are old and you hire some Scandinavian big boobs nurses and they stay with you for that time, it's a lot more empowering than you being with an old hag that is yelling at you and with ungrateful children who are too busy trying to count their inheritance or trying to live a bullshit life. But either way, I don't consider it MGTOW, because MGTOW do not have relationships with women. I am saying take the honeymoon period, enjoy the best of the best. And if you want to know the unique way that we think, because we're one of a kind, click this free link to go through the 5 minutes assessment that allows you to find your strengths and weaknesses in this primal status time, how you can build the kingdom in your way. You don't have to follow my way or any way. This extracts your unique life purpose, the unique primal vision that you have, and make sure to find the second email in addition to the PDF to begin the 10-day videos of the 10 rules of winning in this new lizard brain economy. This is the link, and then winning is for kings, because you know that
it's a king thing.
I salute you.
Like